Hello, 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 hello.
Hello. Good evening. Welcome to Coffee Time with James and Men.
My sound's fine. I don't know what the hell you're talking about. You need to put headphones on.
I can't. My phone doesn't have a headphone jack. It's an iOS.
Okay, anyway, we're live from the Home for the Elderly and the Retired. Those post 40 like myself. And we're just sort of settling into it and thinking, if this is what life is, then it's a load of shit.
No. Then we've got to be zen and just go through it.
Yeah, but I will ask you, there's no way we're going to do a video with you looking like that.
Well, you need more light? Is that what you're saying?
Can you see yourself now?
I see myself, yes.
Okay, you want to be on a video, just look at all I can see are your glasses.
So that's a sarcastic way of saying put on more light.
It's not sarcastic, it was pretty direct. I mean,
boss,
we had this conversation last time.
All right.
Like I've said, if people are just going to come on the camera and only be off camera, it's not going to get any views, basically.
It's not that dark.
No, I know, but you're sitting with nothing on then. So okay, that's about at least 100% better. So thank you.
Okay.
I mean, over this Christmas period and everything, I felt a combination of either fine and then going into this periods where I feel like I'm ill, basically. And like yesterday, I had such a sore throat and everything.
Oh, really?
And it's like, you need to rest, So I went to bed very early last night and then basically woke up early. Oh, it's gone again. So
you get some of this.
Well, I do have a variety of things that are a bit like that, yeah. But that one,
Colloidal silver.
Is that just liquid then?
Yeah, it's a peppermint flavor liquid. You gargle it for about 30 seconds in the back, especially like right before you go to sleep, and you wake up and it's all that scratchiness just seems to go away.
Yeah, it's not scratchiness with me. It's more like
quite an amazing product.
It reminds me of when I used to have tonsillitis, and all that. But it can just flare up. Especially, I think with me, an important thing to remember is like just keep quiet basically for a while. Especially if you've got a sore throat, you can't go around, singing Two Tribes by Frankie Goes to Hollywood. Really, really loud in a pub. Just because it's open today, with me standing there drinking a pint of soda water and lime or something. I mean, it will inevitably end in a few questions. That's all. I mean, some people will like it, but
what do you mean
around here?
What do you mean by
I think that we're talking about the differences between America and England in many ways. Like here, where you talk about that sarcasm and that kind of thing, whereas in terms of eccentricity and things like this, in America, I think they actually embrace it almost to some degree. Whereas here, it's squashed. It's like stand in line, be a good person, get on the conveyor belt here. It's always been like that.
It depends on what state you're in here, really.
I'm sure, yeah.
Some are more laid back than others, for sure.
Well, I remember being in Georgia and everything, and it seemed like basically
nobody's in a hurry down there.
It's quite laid back. Yeah, it's quite like have a good one. And it's like, okay, what do you mean? Like, there's a sort of slight cynicism in the air, but it's not a bad one. It's not like they mean you any harm. It's just, I remember that when I went to Macon and there was a guy and I went into a shop there. It's like a corner. I literally felt like I was in some kind of. It was like Rust Cole was in charge of the shop from True. All right. I was like,
Right.
like, this is why I came to America. Oh. I says,
When was the last
do you know
time?
where the bookshop is? Doesn't it? Yeah, I think.
When was the last
Well, I think it's just up the road there.
Just mosey down that road there, boy.
Yeah, and the woman in the bookshop, her friend was in Wise Blood, like the film that I went there for. And she says it basically is the perfect film, isn't it? And I'm like, fine. There was a point in coming 90 miles on a Greyhound bus down here, and then when I got there were some students who were going, "Why have you come here?" I was like, "Why not?"
Yeah, Wise Blood sounds familiar, but it's escaping.
You have to watch that film. It's very.
Don't remember.
I watched it with Voltaire, and it has moments in it now which are, to say the least, not politically correct. And Flannery O'Connor was a devout Catholic, but she believed in, like, essentially, I suppose, you know, like people who think they found God, or they're like, I'm a good Christian, you know, like that kind of thing of wearing it on their heart, like wearing it on their sleeve.
They think
that's the opposite of being a Christian in a way.
They think they found God?
Well, I think that's a large percentage of Christians, honestly, yes.
No, but the way you said that was a little cynical yourself.
Well, I think Flannery O'Connor was cynical.
Mm-hmm.
She dealt with the grotesque, essentially, is what I'm talking about. I.e., the most extreme events, the most extreme people who are rejected completely by society in themselves are an example of, like, grace in existence, you know?
Yeah.
Essentially what Lynch often shows. It's this kind of just because people are maybe down at heel or living like on the fringes of society or kind of, you know, not intelligent, so-called, it just doesn't mean underneath that they don't have, like, maybe the biggest hearts or a natural intelligence that they might have anyway. And I think that's what she celebrated. And I think Wise Blood celebrates that in a way, and yet does it in a way which is now would be seen as, like, politically incorrect, as in racial tensions are portrayed in the most blatant way possible without any cynicism. It's essentially, you know, there's a policeman shouting, "Whites, cross on, you know, the green. What are you doing, boy? You're going across the road on red. Like, what do you think? The reds are for whites and greens are for ends." It's like
this is a John Huston film.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that interests me.
I can't see why you wouldn't like it. It's very.
Yeah.
They made it almost like, you can say, like, we rolled into town and we just sort of like winged it. Like when it starts off and there's a shot where the camera's literally on the side of the car, kind of, and then he just opens the door, gets out, Brad Dourif, and, you know, it does that kind of swing effect with the camera fixed to the car and things. I just thought this is bound to be a good film, you know.
Yeah, it looks like one I'm probably definitely gonna watch when we get off.
Well, John Huston, essentially he's in it as a preacher, and at one point he's really shouting, you know, like fire and brimstone and everything down, and it's supposed to be Brad Dourif as a child, and he's like, you know, urinating on himself. And it's about that kind of fear. Do you remember? But there's also a carnival aspect to it after that, which I think would enjoy. So.
Do you remember John Huston being spelled like Houston, the town in Texas? HOUSTON?
It may have been in some publications, but that would have been surely as misspelling.
I mean, it just looks like Huston to me. Like, I don't know why you would call him Houston.
I don't know. That's some kind of weird pronunciation thing. It's like,
yeah.
Where did John Huston come from? I don't know.
He's very, very good in Other Side of the Wind. Have you watched it yet?
No, I haven't. But it's like,
Come on.
where is it available? Because I looked for it. I think it's on Prime.
It's only on Netflix. It's only on Netflix here.
Is it? Okay, I'll check on that.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to watch it because I checked it up the other day, basically, and I thought, I'm going to watch this, right? And it's like, then it says someone's going through different realities or different, and I was like, I'm too tired right now. I just, like, you've got to kind of sit down and properly watch something like that. It's the same with Wise Blood, which I've watched more than once.
It doesn't really deal with alternate realities too much, but
no, I think maybe they're just trying to like give it a bit of a spin.
Yeah, I think so.
Isn't it like picked up on? I mean, basically, it's footage which was left to some degree.
It's kind of like a sequel to Citizen Kane in a way, like how.
So it's directed by Orson Welles ostensibly.
Well,
they've completed it, haven't they, after the fact?
Yes, way after the fact. And Peter Bogdanovich. If you watch it, I would.
Is some of it directed by someone else, or
no?
It's all the actual real footage from the time.
All the real footage. If anybody watches it or you watch it, I would watch the. I personally would watch the documentary first. Some people would watch it afterwards, but I wanted the info before I watched the film, and it.
Yeah, I'm the opposite. I like just want
really
to sink into the film. Like I'm not. I know you're very like informational overload a bit, but
it really helps to get the. I
can imagine I'm going to enjoy.
They set it up really.
Watching the documentary and the film simultaneously, a bit like David Bowie in The Man Who Fell to Earth. That's what I felt like yesterday, a bit honestly.
In the documentary, Peter Bogdanovich talks about how there's two other Orson Welles films. One of them is totally finished, but they lost the audio track to it. So he said he wanted to maybe finish that film if this one worked out. And then there was another one called The Deep.
Oh my God.
Not the Nick Nolte Deep. This is The Deep.
Do you mean the one that's a bit like a Jaws in spirit?
They're out on a boat. I know that.
Yes.
I forget who's in.
That was quite a big budget film. Is it?
With The Deep?
It's not Lance Henriksen. No. Somebody like that.
I don't think so. It's Nick Nolte.
Lance Henriksen is in, for instance, The Visitor, that Italian-American co-production that John Huston's also in. That is well worth a watch. It
should be Hendrickson, but yeah.
Have you seen the Visitor?
He's Henriksen.
No. All right, Mandela Man, just stop that stuff now. You're going. We're just having a casual talk here, not about your stuff, okay?
Have you seen what film?
The Visitor.
The one with Tom Cruise?
No, in 1979 or
no.
Yeah, you have to see that then. I will watch basically The Other Side of the Wind. You've got to catch up on The Visitor and Wise Blood. Because I think Johnny watched The Visitor after I recommended it. That film is just nuts. It's like the Italians going, write down every idea from every horror film that's out at the moment. We'll just jumble them all together and that's fine. It's like, no, that makes no sense whatsoever. It's got Shelley Winters in it.
Oh, does it?
It's got Glenn Ford?
Yeah.
This little girl slams the. It reminds me of the Start a Fire with Me, the school bus door, and then she accuses him of being a kiddie fiddler or something. I'm like, what is happening with this film?
That seems to be a theme through a lot of Huston's work.
This is not Huston's work. He's just in it.
Well,
this is a theme throughout society.
It says John Huston's Wise Blood. When I look it up,
I just said The Visitor, for fuck's sake. What are you talking about?
Okay, I got you.
You're slipping between realities now, obviously.
In The Other Side of the Wind.
Okay, let's stay on one film. Okay.
Basically, like Orson Welles debated on whether or not it's about a movie director, and he debated on whether he wanted to be like, should he star in his own film, but then he gave it to John Huston. So because it's a cut together film, there's parts in the beginning where it's Orson Welles and it's off camera and you hear his voice. So in the documentary, that's why I say watch the documentary first. They explain all that.
Well, I'm not going to do that.
How that's supposed to be like the same character talking. And
I'm not interested in like
explain stuff
the
like
story of Pennywise going in 2.5 hours, and then you actually watch the TV movie of it and realize this is a lot of fuss over nothing. Like the TV movie,
It's
okay,
good.
it had merits. For me, though, I was never scared by it, and this is the thing. It's like, is there something wrong with me?
When I was a kid,
And
I peeked out. I was in the other room, and my parents were watching it, and I peeked out for a minute and saw Tim Curry on screen as the clown, and that stayed with me for years. I used to dream about him, even though
but some people have like a fear of clowns, whereas I never had that.
I didn't have a fear of clowns. It was just him, his clown, like the Pennywise clown.
Maybe it's something to do with like the British American thing. Like he was very known as an English actor, and well, still is, I suppose. He's still alive even after his stroke. But I mean, he was good in that film. I will say that he was better than Skarsgård, that hands down. I mean,
I don't know about that.
No, I think he was in terms of like the character. But I think Skarsgård encapsulated a true kind of terrifying thing, but it's not so much a character, it's more like this kind of entity. Whereas with Tim Curry, it's like the thing that probably didn't scare me when I was younger and stuff. I didn't really recognize Pennywise as an actual character. I just thought, oh, it's Tim Curry popping up again. And I recognized him instantly from, Clue, that film, which I don't know, it was called Cluedo there, it was called Clue here, sorry. Sometimes they change the name of it to Cluedo here, but like,
really,
of course, this is another strange one for you. But I
is the game called that in your country?
Yeah, it's called Cluedo here. It's not as popular as it used to be, I imagine, but but then not many board games are. They're mostly like a cult thing now. It's probably Cluedo on it or Clue on a phone or something, but it's not really the same, is it? So,
right.
Like playing a board game and sitting there for 3 hours. I mean,
I think that
my brother.
I think that Tim Curry, maybe you think, and maybe you're saying his performance is better because he gets to act more.
I would say so.
Skarsgård is talking longer, like he has those longer scenes with the children. It's very good, but then the CGI.
I think both are very good. It's just
the CGI popping stuff is like whatever. That's just normal schlocky horror stuff, and it's
just to appeal to a modern horror audience, which it did very well. But I think it was evident, and the studio will realize, like the box office takings for the sequel to it were probably not as good. So,
well, they're still talking about doing this third.
But the film basically overdid it on exactly what you were saying. The CGI and the
big time.
I mean, the stuff in the restaurants and everything, it was just beyond ridiculous.
I lost respect for Muschietti, the way he used CGI in the film. It was atrocious.
Well, it felt like they just rushed the film out, and I think that came out just before the whole pandemic hit and stuff. And I can't remember now, honestly, but it's just...
There's rumors that they're going to make a third one, and it might be a show.
Well, if they're going to turn it into a show and everything, I just hope that they do it properly rather than turn it into a CGI fest.
It's supposed to be from the entity's perspective this time,
that could work, because I do think that the Pennywise character is interesting.
If you do it right, it could be really phenomenal.
I mean, from Pennywise, he's essentially like almost like Bob in Twin Peaks. He himself fell a victim. He's like the victim as he sees himself in some strange way.
Well, he's just hungry, man, and he just wants to go back to sleep. That's the whole thing.
He's like wired.
Can't help it,
because the town is just feeding him constantly. There's this, overcurrent really, and the start of it part 2 as well, chapter 2. I had problems with the way that was depicted as well, with the
chapter 2.
The homosexual hate crime business. It was just too...
Well, that's in the book.
It wasn't... Yeah, but it's just the way it was filmed. It was too sort of like lacking in subtlety, and it was too mainstream, basically. It was okay.
My problem with it was too quick. You could have...
I would agree with that.
Could have set that story up and had a 20-minute little short film about that.
Yeah, it just felt like, let's just throw this in at the start.
Yeah,
and then okay, but then we'll fill the rest of the film out with the gang's antics, and it's like
Yeah, and finding their totems and all that. It's
like
just,
as adults, it's not the same as when they were youngsters. It's not charming anymore. And like bringing in that what's his name, Hader. I just keep thinking like he's going to do some comedy any minute.
that was goofy. Yeah. Did you
Yeah.
did you ever watch the Castle Rock series?
I will say I watched quite a bit of the second series and then just stopped for some reason.
In many ways, I thought
it was quite good.
I thought that was, better. Like they fleshed out the character of it better. In
Yeah.
the show,
Well, in the second series, is it actually anything?
The first and the second one.
I'll have to finish watching the second and then maybe go back to the first because
Hmm.
they're sort of like self-contained, aren't they? But at the
That
same
was one of
time,
my favorite shows when it was on. I don't know why the hell. Another streaming service.
yeah, it's all about the misery.
Canceling
Woman, isn't
something
it?
after 2 seasons is just ridiculous. So they don't have to pay.
Did they do that?
Yeah, so they don't have to pay for rights. If a show reaches a certain amount of episodes, then it can go into syndication. So a lot of these.
No, it's as pathetic as the just stopping making any more OA because basically
That's the
it
same
was going to
thing.
cost too much. It was
That's
going to
the
cost
thing.
way too much because
Same thing. Like they
the
don't.
OA already would have cost a lot. Some of that would have been like expensive, but particularly the first season when they filmed that stuff in Russia or wherever it was. I mean, it was just
And
the OA. Some of it was just like wow, but then other bits are very just localized around that neighborhood where they're camping around in the unoccupied house. And
That's one of the things I liked about it. It made a very good use of its budget.
yeah, it all felt like it was all filmed in real places, which I like as well.
Mhm.
Like when Prairies goes back to her parents' house. Did you give a link to Johnny?
I did.
Okay. Right.
So he's not coming in at the end of the show.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Hey, James. Hey, Mandela, man.
Hey, brother.
I don't mind to intrude, James. Sorry, I got an invite. I didn't know if it was okay.
Well, it's not from me, so you've got to thank Mandela Man. So.
All right. I'll see you guys. No, I'm just kidding.
How's your Christmas, John?
Oh, not too bad. Not
But
too
bear
bad.
in mind, it's 8 a.m. for me, so I'm just waking up. You see, and I've been not feeling very well. So
Yeah, same here. I've had a headache for the past 2 days. I don't know why.
Christmas.
Yeah.
That's why.
Well, a lot of shoveling. I've been outside a lot too, and it's been deadly cold outside.
Yeah, when the weather's like that,
Oh my goodness.
it honestly did my nut in here. It was the way I am. I go out in it still, and I'm like, oh yeah, let's go walking.
Mm-hmm.
Then I start walking about 4 miles, and I'm in the middle of a field, not dressed properly for it, like just one thin sweatshirt on, a coat. Oh, get out! That's really cold.
I'd trade that for the snow. You should see. I'll take a picture
it was-
tomorrow. I'll show you the snow tomorrow. I'll
I
send
know
you a
it was
picture.
just basically one of my moments, but
Are you a fan of the snow, James? I know you don't see it there, but
yes, I am actually.
the idea
yeah.
of it. Oh,
I'm
cool,
like
okay.
I'm like a kid in jumping in it and.
I saw a commercial for, remember those bobsleds? They used to have the little steering wheel and stuff on them. That brought back so many memories when I saw those.
It never snows here ever anymore, basically. Mm-hmm. It was like temperate yesterday. I was walking down the streets thinking, oh, spring's here now. Okay, fine. next week it'll be like -10 or something.
Yeah.
The weather's been a bit crazy. I mean, the weather in America has been... I don't even turn on the news. I was looking at the footage and I was just like...
They call it a
what
bomb
the-
cyclone or something. How are you, Mandela Man? Is it snowing where you are? Or?
Yeah, no, that's really helpful for people,
I know.
isn't it?
The
There's a
name.
bomb cyclone. People are like, what the...
I know, of all names. Just say severe weather.
Jeanette, there's a bomb cyclone!
Get to
Well,
the
not in that
basement.
accent.
Get to cover. Yeah.
Lock and load. What? Why are you lock and load and it's snow? Oh.
It yeah, it snowed pretty hard, but it's supposed to be. Excuse me.
Are you okay?
That's,
Went down the wrong.
let's just, I think we all need to just
Take a breather.
take some time to just chill. Like,
It's supposed to be 50 degrees next week, so I assume all this is gonna melt.
since your name is Dream Dystopia, for instance, which makes me a bit worried. I think you should call it a Dream Utopia. It's better. I don't think you're going to get subscribers with that name, honestly. But I'm just being, blunt here.
Yeah,
Dream
yeah.
Utopia, Johnny's Dream Utopia of pink fun, something like that.
Pink fun.
Well, yeah, it's better than. I mean, I will just put this out there. I don't like OnlyFans. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't think it's good. If you only have to read the news, there's a young OnlyFans model, 25, dead. It's like young people, they can't cope with that level of coverage of themselves, especially if they're showing.
Why can't we,
Especially if they're showing the flange. I mean, it's just,
Yeah.
why can't we just meet up with people on the internet without getting murdered? I mean,
Oh, why does everything have to be subscription?
oh, come on! I don't think you have to take it to that level, Mandela man. I mean, I don't think that's exactly what happened, but I don't know about that story, and in a way, it's stupid to mention it if we're not going to talk about it properly. But yeah, just to get back to point, like to see anyone here, like yesterday, I was lying in bed and I'm like, okay, I'm just going to go to this at this time. I feel really like sore throat, not very well. I'll lie down for a while, for an hour now. And then you start going into like these ideas. They're like a bit like dreams, but you've got to wake up. Does anyone have that kind of thing?
I have where like
No.
No, not really. To be honest, yeah, I'll be honest. Not really.
Yeah, it happens more when you get older, I think.
I kind of
wait-
wish it did because when you're in that REM sleep, you're getting a deep sleep, right? When you're getting that dream state, that REM sleep.
Well, I was in that last night. I mean, I went to bed very early and then woke up early. You see.
Mm-hmm.
I started doing that when I was with somebody who would get up, and for her it was normal to get up at 5 a.m. And I was like, and then because I after a while got tired of things and like the constant traveling long distances to see her and stuff in this country, I would be then sleeping in the day, but then it meant that I couldn't get to sleep at night.
Yeah.
And so we ended up being completely out of sync with each other. She was, I would say, probably one of the hardest working people I've ever met.
Very cool. Yeah.
And she became like qualified as a teacher of this country and everything. So, she was Romanian. She was qualified as a teacher there, but you can't just move to another country and then say, I'm a teacher here now.
Yeah, different. Yeah.
And so she really put in the work and then left me. And so it was all sad, but inevitable because I used to go down to London and I would be like, yeah, hey, I'm going to go and walk to that museum or something and meet there and we'll meet there. And then after a while, after years of this going by, you start becoming like, the underground train's coming towards me. Maybe I'll just throw my body onto the tracks. I mean,
Don't say that. Oh my
no,
God.
but honestly, that's the way it made me. And at that point, you realize like you have to know when you can cope with something. I'm not saying I literally wanted to do that, but I'm just saying I think a lot of stress in this society is almost like tolerated way too much.
Yeah, you got it.
And online as well. I think all this kind of like just feeding people like every erotic desire that they could ever have.
Yeah.
Like if you search for that in reality, that is surely a lot better. I mean, yeah,
I dig it.
I'm not pro going to prostitutes and all that kind of thing particularly.
There's
but I
nothing
think-
wrong with that.
No, well, there is though.
Here's the problem. Porn
It can affect you very much if you do that kind of thing. So
porn descent.
Oh, you're saying if you take it to anything like anything in moderation.
no,
is
even
okay.
not even.
Oh, you're
in
saying not
moderation.
even
If you do
in
it
that?
once.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
The individual can do it once. It could have a bad effect on them. It's not for everybody. That's all I'm saying.
True. No, that's a valid.
I don't think there's a blanket statement for anything. It's
Yeah, that's true. That's very true.
It's like, okay, you can have a snort of cocaine, you'll be fine.
But
That
then
person might just go and they might just literally then just go into a shop and start,
or even just have a
shitting on the
physical,
floor or
or even a physical reaction. I've seen someone have a seizure doing that. Like, yeah, you got to be careful. No, you're absolutely you have a good point.
sounds very traumatic.
Yeah.
So I just think like we become numb to too much these days. That we pre-internet, etc., and having 200 channels at our disposal, we were like, we had more time to just ruminate over things. And
Oh, we become desensitized as a society for sure. 100%.
yeah, but I think rather than I don't want to like
Accept the norm.
celebrate that or
kidding.
maybe no, I don't want to accept it.
No, I know. I don't want to accept
and I
it
don't want to
either.
live in a dystopia. I don't want to.
No, I know.
For me, it's
Unfortunately,
like,
that's what it feels like.
Well, you're already in it.
But I'm sorry that is the case because I honestly think I don't know why exactly, but I can't imagine like if you step outside of where you live and everything, and it's not snowing, for instance,
Yeah.
that it's like some kind of literally kind of raining constantly and like Judge Dredd or something. Surely,
Like a film noir or something. I love that. That's awesome.
no, I mean, all of
I
your
hear
stuff on your channel is is ideas from Cyberpunk, right? So I'm
Yeah,
referencing
yeah.
that.
All cyberpunk. Yeah. Yeah, for the most, but 90%. Yeah.
One of the
No, but
coolest.
I'm saying though that I'm saying just the pictures. I'm not talking about the content.
Yeah. Yeah.
The
Well, you're doing Cyberpunk, Johnny?
Yeah, that's kind of my new phase right now.
That fucking thing, man. I can't even stand that fucking game. Like this.
You're talking about the game. James is talking. We're talking about the genre itself, the genre of cyber. Like,
fucking game was like the biggest disappointment,
I was playing that today. They've actually fixed it. On the side note,
dude. But Johnny, I can't stand when
are you talking about a PlayStation game now? PS4?
yeah, there's a game literally called James Cyberpunk 2047. Is it or 2077?
Yeah,
Seven.
I've heard of it. Yeah.
And the big controversy, James, just in a short one sentence, was when it debuted, one of the biggest games ever. It was so broken, it didn't work on systems.
You don't have
Fast
to
forward.
contain it in one sentence. We've got loads of time here. So.
Okay, oh, sorry, I didn't know if you were interested, like, with Wayne. Fast forward 3-4 years later, they've only now fixed it. Like, they've only now fixed
talk
it.
to people fast because you think their interest will wane, because then that will actually lose their interest because they can't keep up with you because you're talking too fast.
Yeah, that's myself. I know, I'm trying to regulate that, yeah.
Johnny, what I can't stand about the game is when somebody sees you, when somebody sees your character and goes,
Yeah, yeah.
"What?
Mandela, make
Freaks
the
out.
sound. Just move the
That
phone.
sound fucking drives me nuts, dude."
Yeah, and they fixed a lot of... When was the last time you played it? Because they fixed a lot of those issues.
Mandela, man, move your phone a bit. It's gone funny sound.
Oh, to fix it, James, he just has to go into his sound settings, press the echo thing on and off, or off and on, and it fixes it. You're kind of glitching out right now, Mandela Man. It's sounding all digital.
Okay, well, okay, at the bottom of the screen I have mic, which, you know, if I press it...
I can't believe that you're used to this.
Yeah, I fix it when I do a live on the spot. I'll fix it. I'll do it on the spot. He won't even notice that. It's not his fault. It just happens sometimes. It goes out of sync or something.
Well, no, it is his fault.
Okay.
Okay, so I got mic.
Mandela, man, is
Honestly, I'll say it really simple. Mandela Man, just go into settings, audio, settings,
No, but
audio.
this is
Echolocation.
immediately like a stop moment. It's
But
just,
Johnny, where would the hell would settings be? There's only 5 things at the bottom of the screen when I'm on StreamYard. It says mic,
Yeah, yeah.
mic, cam, chat, more.
Yeah.
it sounds like something from Battlestar Galactica. It's just
So hit more.
He does sound like a Cylon. That's a great reference, James. I'm glad you said that. He got to sound like a Cylon. Sorry, Mandela Man, because yeah, it's the audio setting wherever that is, where it says echo cancellation. You just have to
it's
turn it off
slightly
and on.
unnerving.
Settings, audio.
It's kind of
Yeah.
difficult and
Yeah.
you know.
It just has. Yes,
Question?
exactly. Just shut it off and then put it back on, and it should fix everything.
Okay. Is it good now?
Yeah, yeah. Sounds great.
Did that fix it?
Yep.
Oh, sweet.
Did you
Yeah,
two just
bro.
do that as a joke, or is this real?
No, that's
No, that's what happens. But I fix it on the fly.
Oh,
online.
fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, we're not pranking you.
I don't think so. I know so.
Okay.
Fair enough. Whatever you say.
and then somebody muted me. The power to mute me over there.
I
didn't
can't. I
mute
can't
it.
do that.
You muted yourself.
I can't do that.
Oh yeah. Okay.
I'm not muting you, Mandela. Man.
I don't know. I'll never
I
buy
did
a
at
video.
one point when we had about like 7 people on, and you just kept going. Yeah, that was that hard one. Oh.
In that accent, really.
You're actually doing like you're making fun of Chinese people. It's not
No,
funny.
he's never done that.
Never.
I remember, you know, when I used to work in a video store, and this is one of the funniest things I ever saw, but also like a bit
What in Judge
can't laugh
Dredd?
at it.
With
They
Wesley
were
Snipes?
looking at, they were like lower films, no,
Yeah.
and there's some that were at Kung Fu, like Jackie Chan or something. And this
Mm-hmm.
little kid came up with his dad, and went, "Oh look," I was like, the little kid got picked one up and went,
Oh my god! Don't reenact it.
Demonetized.
This is not even that long ago. That was him playing.
This was yesterday.
I mean, this was literally like a 4-year-old.
This was at the cafe yesterday.
Right.
No, it's Blockbuster. You can't go anywhere and get videos now or DVDs, can you? It's just like,
No.
just go down the street and someone's just massive sacks of them outside the house. I don't want these anymore, Jackie Chan. Discovering Jackie Chan. Yeah, but I don't agree with the young child doing that. So I actually grabbed the child and then shoved him in the toilet at the back of the shop and said,
Well, his dad was there.
Do you
Really?
know what you've done?
Do you know? what
Yeah,
you've done?
where the women who worked there got me in trouble for like not cleaning the toilet after I'd used. They said James has left loads of shit skid
Oh my
marks all over
God.
it. And I was like, yeah, thanks for just bringing that right out to the open so everybody knows now. Became obsessive about cleaning the toilet as a result.
Did
This
you
is
guys
just another
watch?
example of English life?
Did you guys watch any holiday movies over the holidays or over the?
Hey, I
Uh,
was telling James that I've been watching the Mandela Catalog. Do you watch that, Johnny?
that's very much a holiday. movie.
No, this is the first I'm hearing of it.
Okay, this
That's
guy.
the Mandela catalog, Mandela catalog or whatever. Christmas special.
It's an analog horror series.
Oh,
Alex Kister is the guy.
What do you mean?
Dude,
analog? When was it filmed?
It's
You're
currently,
filming it on analog now.
it's currently coming out now, but the horror comes from old technology.
Oh, I see what you mean. It's like Blair Witch. You mean like that?
In a way.
But
Yeah, in a way.
Blair Witch. It's scary because it was filmed on bad digital.
Or is it like VHS? You know, the VHS series, VHS 1, VHS, you know, those horror movies, the VHS movies? They're just called VHS.
I know the ones you're talking about.
1 and 2 are the best. After
Sure.
that, they.
Sort of.
How many
I mean,
are there? 4 or something?
Something like that, yeah. And there's another one coming out. It's a franchise they've really kicked into the dirt, but the first 2, highly recommend. Each one has 4
Like the paranormal
anthology.
films.
Yeah.
No,
Or
no,
even
no.
better because they're anthology, so each one has 4. So if you don't like one, there's another one you might like, you know? Or a
All right.
couple.
Well, let's just carry on with what Mandela.
the
Man was
thing
talking
that's
about.
cool. The thing that's cool about analog horror is it's very much show, not tell. Kind of like how Kubrick was. So you have to really watch.
That's actually that was a famous club I used to go to in London. It's kind of like a bit under.
Show, not tell.
I don't agree with any of that stuff.
Were you wearing a
I
trench
I
coat
went
in,
in. I actually went in and I said,
With the trench
by the
coat.
way, I don't agree on any of this.
Okay.
Okay, well, you remember
very
like, coming
cool.
in. Yeah, but I don't agree. All right, it's wrong.
It's wrong.
It's very Kubrickian.
Okay, yeah, that's
And you
right.
have-
That's the kind of thing you got to do with it.
You have to,
Well,
you know,
nice
Oh,
one.
you're the moral police. This is like from 1985.
But it's like I was like Tom Cruise in I was watching
the moral police there.
This is just not right.
You're going around like, no, change this. No, not that.
But I kept going, looking around, just checking. Is there something else bad around this corner?
This is
Oh my
something
god!
else.
Different position, and he's pumping her in the ear. No, that's right.
Oh my god.
All right, let's just get back to normality.
Yeah, okay.
That was
Sure.
just another Lynch reference.
everybody go watch. Everybody go watch the Mandela catalog. You'll enjoy it. It's the later episodes. It's getting very Lynchian. I would love to stream it. With
Is this
you
on
guys.
YouTube then?
Yeah, I'd love to do a watch along with.
You do realise that YouTube is being more strict now. with
It's
streaming and all
ridiculously strict, yeah.
this. I got shoved off for 7 days because of the David Lynch's John Ford clip, which Cameron just totally was fine. He did his own edit of it, and he managed to
You
be
see,
okay. But
You see,
Yeah,
I
there's
sent-
there's somebody else right now who has like 1 million views who uploaded like a
sent
day
him a
after
video.
you did it. It's ridiculous.
How come they're getting away with it? But
Yeah.
we
well, I don't
can't.
know about that many, but I think the
Oh, I'll check right now.
thousands. I think the
A lot. Well, how come they're getting away with it, but we can't do it?
I got like 900 plus views for that Box of Delights episode, but I think people are just clicking it on it
Because of
because
the
they think
name.
that I'm showing the episode.
Yeah. It's
But I,
got
didn't, I
this-
just watched it, and I thought it was okay, but it's just basically a
It's impressive still.
a children's TV show that was made for all audiences, though, like they did then. And I mean, it hurts as well that Davrin suggested that. So
Yeah, the clip from 11 days ago got 85,000. That's still impressive. That's almost 100,000, you know.
yeah, it's not bad.
And out of that, there's a percentage.
I think that channel possibly had permission to use it or something. They've asked from whoever because it just seems strange that it's not on an official page. But
Yeah.
I was actually showing that one. That's the one Cameron got it from as well. But Cameron edited it into another clip and stuff,
Oh.
and so it basically, I think it's just like a code of what the actual start to the end of the clip is. So if you just show the whole clip,
Yeah.
They think that you're just. It's almost like Cameron said to me. It's like they think you're just showing the whole movie, even.
The only thing I can think of, James, is you
Because
did
there's
it.
going to be Fablemans out there already. Online.
Yeah, I think there's a 48-hour period when a movie comes out, no one can do anything. It's like a grace period, right? There's
No,
like
it's been on there for longer than that. It had been out
Oh.
there for a week, so I thought it was okay. And I just,
Oh, okay. So yeah, I have no idea then.
no, I just effed myself in the ass.
It's really fucked up because it's the end of the movie too. You're ruining the end of the movie if you're showing it to people.
Yeah,
But
it should have been put online, in my opinion.
They're getting away with it, and when we can't put it up.
But I thought that the sheer lack of people who watch the show at certain times, it doesn't really matter. And, you know, people watch this show because they like Twin Peaks or they just like kind of random characters on, you know, our different interactions and stuff. But I don't think they're just coming for Lynch in the Fablemans, but I should have known better. And I think we really do need to be careful with the things we show. That's all.
Yeah, I learned.
I mean, with you, Johnny, you're actually doing mixes of songs and
Hey,
that's your own thing. So, you know.
the
Yeah.
thing the Mandela thing I'm talking about, the catalog show. You have other YouTubers like Matt Pat, which I'm sure you guys are, you know, the theorizer.
Yeah.
He'll
I have
show
not heard of
clips.
it.
He'll show clips and
Fine.
maybe it's the fact that he's not showing the whole thing, that he's clipping it up and cutting it up, that they're getting away
It is
with.
very much that. It is.
I mean,
You override. There's some kind of coding or something that it
We should be
recognizes. It's just bots. It's not like there's people that are sitting at computers like, oh my god, coffee times. James has got his arse out again or something. I mean, no, you know,
we should be able to do watch
not that I
alongs
did that, but
of other people's channels if we want, and there should be watch alongs of watch alongs.
I didn't get my arse out. I got out a rotten sausage.
Oh my god.
No, I literally had a sausage coming out of my pants on
Oh.
one show when Chloe used to be on it.
Oh my god.
Did you used to watch it when Chloe was on?
I've seen a few of them with Chloe. One of the best ones was when Voltaire did that whole voice of you giving your Wi-Fi. That was one of my favorites ever.
Giving my wife.
Your Wi-Fi to your neighbor, and then Voltaire.
Oh no, that's not funny at all.
But that's one of the things that I
Painful.
watched.
It just goes on forever.
I know it was good.
Gary said that he hated the Scotty one as well, but the thing is, there is some funniness in it, but you'd have to edit it. And like when Chloe first came on, there was people coming in the chat and they're going, "James, I don't know how you've managed this to get her on, just because she was like kind of nice appearance."
Well,
And
she
it's
was
like-
in a music video too from the '80s. I forget what band it was, but she was in an
Yeah.
actual music video.
She caught my eye.
Well, that's quite an achievement considering she wasn't alive in the 80s.
She caught my eye. That's why I first.
She definitely
clicked on
was. What are you talking about?
Okay, if you're going to say she definitely was, you have to give the link. Chloe was younger than you might think she was. I don't know, because she looked quite mature in herself.
Oh, do you remember the band? I would have to pull up the episode where she brought it up, the music video she was in, and I checked it out right away. And I'm like, yeah, there she is. I'm like, wow. It was like Round and Round or something. It was like,
I watched it.
it was a big song, remember? And she was in it. I'm like, oh my God, that's amazing. That's
Yeah.
incredible.
What song? What band?
Oh, okay. Give me a few seconds. I'll find it.
I knew she was in something. She's been in a lot of different
It
things.
was incredible. I was blown away because it's a song I'm well aware of. I think,
She's-
you know.
I mean, she has a certain look which can work
Let me check.
for.
Okay, YouTube.
She's hotter on the show than in the video, actually.
Well, she was a lot younger there, right? It would have been.
No, I don't think that.
Whatever.
I don't want to.
Aging
Can you
like-
just bear in mind that she could like one of the problems with Chloe was that I went and spoke to Jamie on one of her videos about Chloe being quiet, and so it kind of.
Oh, James.
I said to Voltaire, and I was like,
The fuck.
"Do you think that had any impact?" And he was like, "Well, do you think?"
Oh.
It's like with me, I didn't think it was that offensive or anything. I thought it was
Blew
okay.
it, James. You blew it.
I know I did.
But
Well-
I see what you mean. Like, but
She
yeah,
did-
no.
she thought
Didn't
thought maybe fine, but you know, it's not the right way to express it, is it? I did
Yeah.
it. I did
Yeah. Chloe,
I made a
come back.
mistake but things were a bit, you know, bear in mind we had like on that show then, I'm not making excuses for myself. But that's not
Is it?
Chloe.
That ain't the video, is it? I remember.
Anyway,
it
she was born like probably early 90s, I think. So
Oh, sorry, I was mic'd the whole time. Sorry.
It could be a 90s video that should. I mean, a 2000s.
I remember it being like misty and white, very
Yeah,
white.
yeah.
It probably looked 80s to you, but it was probably made in the 2000s, I think. So
Early 90s.
she's like, no, it's not early 90s. She was born in the early 90s, I just said. So unless she's in a video when she was 2.
I don't know. It looked like 91 to me.
Yeah. I wish I knew which song it was.
Okay, so you're basically saying that Chloe looks like she's 40 now.
I'm 42. Well, that's what.
She was not 40.
No, I'm not
Telling
saying.
you.
I could easily believe that.
She had a mature look, is what I mean.
38.
She could
maybe.
look quite mature, but she was. I thought she was older than she was. She's about 30 now, I think.
Oh,
You never listened to her talk because she said her age on an episode.
yeah.
Yeah, she said her
What
age.
did she say?
I'm not going to say because now
You're
it
saying
seems like...
you're saying to me on my
you
own
don't
video
fuck with
that I
that.
didn't listen to Chloe.
No, you missed.
screw
No,
it.
you like that
They-
part, like the part where she mentioned it. Like I swear she mentioned it, unless it's a
Okay,
Mandela.
you swear
effect.
she mentioned it, but
Yeah.
then you can't actually specifically remember what you're talking about.
Well,
I'll have to do my homework and find
Just
the
give me
actual
a break
episode.
here. Come on.
Trust
He
me.
doesn't
I
have-
spoke to Chloe personally. Okay.
That's true. These are a lot of assumptions. Until I find the proof.
You don't have the whole
You won't
archives.
though, will you, Johnny?
I'm on a mission now. I gotta find it.
Don't do it because I mean, Chloe was not supposed to be. Basically, we don't want like the show to become essentially a bunch of sex symbols. Like I know, yes, many people see me on the show and they immediately think, "When's he going to be nude?" You know,
That's their first thoughts. When's he gonna be nude?
as soon as they turn on the channel,
When's he gonna be nude? Oh my
they're
god.
like, "Nudity is fine on YouTube." Within reason, and I'm like, one day I'm doing a breast pump video. Next week,
You could get away with it.
irrigation,
Yeah. Yeah. You call it breast pump? Yeah. You could get
posing
away
in
with that.
sexy ways whilst doing a corner kick.
Oh my god. Posing in
It
sexy
appeals to
ways.
a subset of a subset.
Hmm.
Oh god, it's got very dark now.
It's pretty
Reminds
funny, actually.
It reminds me of like a David Letterman type stuff. I like it.
No, I actually saw this video where do you know the boy band Take That that Robbie Williams was in, and
Yeah.
where they were going for like colon irrigation.
What?
You know, like at a health spa, they do it, don't they? They give you they push a tube, and then they can kind of wash you out a bit. It's all quite soft. But sometimes I've heard that people can have it done and it can actually cause a few problems. So it's like
Are you talking about an enema?
basically, but they actually shove like water up there.
All right.
A bit like what Voltaire goes on about when he says about getting a bidet fitted to your toilet. I mean, can you imagine if I did that?
Well, you
I'd end up
stream
flooding
it.
my whole bathroom or something.
Hmm.
Yeah, stream that one. That'd be good.
You
Like
could say
me with my
good night,
pants down
but-
and my cock out. Oh, look at that! It's not very big, is it? Oh, now the whole bathroom's flooded. James slipped on the floor, smashed his head on the sink. He's bleeding. Happy Christmas, everybody!
Came up with the flux capacitor and then passed out.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah.
Yeah.
I did fall over once in my bath as well. That was when I first moved here, and it was like,
Oh shit.
and it's just like you just like slip, and you just like, whoop,
Oh. Fuck.
and I like landed right on my leg, hard on the edge of the bath and stuff. It could have been far worse, but just yeah.
And then since that day, you've actually still been in your bathtub, and this is all an illusion. No, I'm just kidding.
Getting older really can be hard. I'm not lying. But
Ain't that
if
the
you can
truth?
if you can take the measures to overcome that, that's the thing to do. Basically, is all I can say. But I think for many people that's it's very, very difficult, especially if you're snowed in, like, or whatever. I mean, it's just
Yeah.
even just going to the local shop becomes like a task, doesn't it? It's not like
It was an adventure.
walking down
yeah,
to the
yeah.
show.
Yeah.
We're not-
I mean, it's never been like that for me. Going in the shop and me just keeping my mouth shut is like a trial, basically, And
We're not
have to get in.
technically snowed in, right?
At my age, I should know better.
We could get the car door open. It's not frozen shut. There are people driving.
Well, no,
around.
but I mean, Johnny doesn't drive, so
No.
No, I know, but I feel the same way.
like me. So.
I feel the same way you do, but it's not like
Would you not want to drive?
It's
John?
not like I could say it's blizzard conditions.
I like I could if I wanted. Like I just choose
Yeah,
not to. Like I have my license, but I choose not to drive.
You
Yeah,
passed.
I choose not
yeah,
to.
yeah. I passed both of them, but I just choose not to drive.
Yeah.
It's a very expensive thing too because
Oh yeah.
it's the vehicle, it's the insurance, and then it's the gas, and that alone is
You can
enough.
spend probably all the money on a car.
All
It's
of
like,
it, it's
well,
such a
not-
circular thing. But you're right.
Why are
to
you
a
spending
certain-
more money on your car than to
Yeah.
feed yourself? I mean,
You're absolutely right. Yeah, that's the
Right.
society we live in.
or just buying some okay clothes rather than having to
Mm-hmm.
dress yourself in like rags. I mean, I'm not saying like I'm not
Rags.
snob in any way, any shape or form. I mean, if you saw my like
Right.
flipping, no, I mean seriously though, like if you see in my bedroom, I've got like a stack of clothes that I've just collected, and then I just pick up what's on top, and that's it. So I don't have to put any thought into it in that kind of.
You don't put the clothes.
One day you
away.
should flip them over, like do it like just
do.
randomize it. Oh, you'd randomize
No,
it.
there's one day, and I'll suddenly fold them all up, probably, or at least fold them a bit.
Randomize it. Yeah.
Because as soon as I start feeling like I'm doing something like, I basically get into my head like this is woman's work, and then I realise there's no woman here,
What?
and then I start, and then I drop to my knees. And I go,
Woman's
fuck,
work? What the fuck?
fuck society. These women should be here, but
Are you
folding
kidding me?
my car. Of course, I'm kidding now.
That's so women's work.
No, but you've got to remember, like I grew up around all the people who that was just accepted. Okay,
That's make it
the women
okay.
did
No.
that stuff. They liked it doing. They
He
liked
lives
doing
in
it.
Nottingham.
That's cool if it's a choice. Yeah, yeah. if you
Near
like it.
Nottingham on the way, like for instance, my grandma Aline and stuff. She had like arthritis and everything, and she would go around with this elevated shoe on. As my first sort of proper girlfriend Claire said, like a baby spice shoe on, hasn't she? I mean, my mum's side of the family were eccentric. My uncle Henry had 3 grandfather clocks in his relatively small house and a Wurlitzer organ.
Oh, well,
And then he was like a painter and decorator. He just had these massive for me, they were massive sheds at the back. When he passed away in his 90s, like they had to bring in skips to get to do a chemical decontamination of the entire thing. Because, it's like, because the paint's from that era as well. Once they finished with some paint they didn't need anymore, they just put it in the shed.
it's full of lead and stuff, right?
And it was old paint that was really
Yeah.
toxic, yeah. And
High lead level.
I used to like absolutely love there going on Sundays because I'd just disappear into his sheds, and they'd be like old paint calendars on the wall with like topless women on them and stuff. When I found that, I was like, oh, get hell.
the pinup.
And I'd be like, oh, I could just put this in here, and I'd probably be able to just take it home sometimes. And my mum, James, what do you got on your coat there? Nothing. It's like, I mean, if she saw it, she probably would have taken it off me because I was probably like 10 or something. But my grandma had the same one. You go up into this little back shed that used to make coffins up there at the back of there. It was just terraced housing, all very basic. But like back then, everybody had a garden, right?
Yeah,
Long
yeah.
gardens and things like this. And up in that top room, there was like an old TV. Like one of those ones that you get in the convenience room. Or
like a CRT, old school.
yeah, but even older, like with a box cabinet, like an old antique
It's got like
now.
the wooden frame. Those
Yeah, and
solid-
upstairs she had an actual dummy for using for making
mannequin.
clothes and stuff.
A mannequin.
Yeah, but not the
Yeah.
whole thing, just the top. But it was like a woman's body, and so I was like, yeah. And like, if you went into the back bedroom, there's a bedroom which was literally preserved as it would have been like in 1940. It was like you just went into this different world, and so. But the thing is, for us, all this was completely normal. I'm not saying my grandma was eccentric. Perhaps she was in some ways, but especially the way these things were all just left. Like there were old anvils and old tools, like a grinder, a roller thing, which was just a stone. So, of course, as youngsters, I go in and start trying to move it. And my mum, obviously, if she knew what I was doing, she says, James, get away from that thing. It's you can't do that because it's fixed to stop it. And, oh, okay. Next week, go and try it again, And, like, no, but we used to have bonfires on bonfire night there. And it was just like one time we all got locked in back in 1990. And it was before the next Twin Peaks episode was gone on, be on. And it was off here for 2 weeks. And all the electricity was shut off. We went to my grandma's, and my mum said, remember that? It was quite a bit of fun, wasn't it, though, when she was talking to Dad? Because we all went to my grandma's because somehow she had hot water or something, whereas we didn't. Some different heating system or whatever, I don't know.
So how old were you when you saw Twin Peaks?
Probably 13.
You were that young watching that, huh?
Yeah, I think the thing is, my mum and dad actually, I had a book given to me when I was 8, The History of Horror Movies. I think they thought that I was so investigative into these things that I should educate myself, and so that Dad was a bit worried, possibly that I didn't know the distinguish fantasy from reality, you see, and but he knew also that I was just. It's not like I was some massive intellectual or anything from a young age, like standing around going, "Hello, everybody! I will do my recital of, whatever." And
no, but you notice things that most people probably don't.
A bit. I was a bit inquisitive.
That's
to
how.
the point, like I would go up upstairs to my Uncle Henry's house, and so he was eccentric. The whole room was devoted to his old trousers and suits, just laid on a bed, covered in dust. They were literally there for years and years and years. Also, another room was just like all old other stuff that I had no idea what it was. And I found I was going through stuff on there when I was in my teens, and there was this old pamphlet saying, "How to know if you're that particular kind of gentleman." I immediately read that and I went, "What?" Like, I don't want to know about this kind of stuff.
Whoa,
Opened it, and there's a picture of like men in a changing room. And I mean, obviously, I'd always subconsciously knew about my uncle, but
like a dandy,
great uncle, I should say. No, like gay.
like what? No, I didn't say gay. I said a dandy. Like,
well, I don't know about
up
whether
to
my great uncle was bisexual or gay or whatever, but he was very interested in Catholicism. And he would go to the.
It's not what I was talking about.
No, but I'm saying that there is a campness to all that as well.
Okay.
And he had an accountant, right? And we went to London one time, and his accountant, it's just like a small painting firm, basically. He's not like a millionaire or something, but especially then, it seemed like something maybe. And his accountant, Andrew, was younger, considerably younger than my uncle, a lot. It's just me, my uncle, and Andrew. Back then, and it's just fine. We're going on a coach trip. I just remember the uncle saying to me, "Yeah, I never pay for anything with cash. I just go to McDonald's and give them my card." And I'm like, "Really?" Like that. And then later, I'm like told by my mum that they were lovers. So his accountant.
Wait, I lost you there.
My great uncle's lover was his accountant. So.
Oh.
But he's never spoken of any of this back then, because we're talking. I mean, my Uncle Henry, in the world he grew up in, I think he was probably bisexual or something, honestly. Because he would really love talking to me. He was never weird or anything. He was really decent and things. But then it'd be, "Oh, Uncle Henry's here. He's got a suit on it," and my dad would be making. I see he's come in his suit and tie, and then he'd just noticed like a large egg stain all down the front. You know what I mean? Like.
Mm-hmm. So what do you guys think? Like the percentages of people in the world that, like, I think now that it's a thing like that, gayness or whatever is being pushed everywhere, bisexuality, all this shit stuff. I think we're.
I think it's been commodified.
I think we're gonna.
If you're looking at adverts and stuff like that, it's always like.
Oh yeah, they're co-opted.
I don't think it's being pushed though, because.
But
there's actually, you could argue, there's actually quite a lot of maybe even like toxic masculinity is being pushed as well. For instance.
Well, my question to you guys is: do you think that the percentage of people is really low, like they say, or that we're find out that there's more people?
No, I think it's a mix. I think everybody's mixed.
A society used to be.
I know for a fact that I don't fancy men. Okay.
Just says a fact. Okay.
I know because I've been
going with that.
I
He thinks you
ever
protest.
since you see when I went at university and everything, I was amongst like that's when they first started having these LGBTQT or whatever they were societies, and so I was like, "What's that mean?" Oh, lesbian, gay, bisexual, whatever. And
Pushing it hard now. Like,
well, yeah, I mean, but it was sort of just mild then, and I wasn't really bothered with it. But the thing is, especially during my hard times and things like this, and especially my drinking times, I had no problems with just going into a so-called gay pub. The thing is, in Nottingham, for instance, they're not advertised as a gay pub. And you know the kind of music I like. I like 80s music. I like kind of...
Yeah.
And a lot of gay people are also really friendly.
They're the
Honestly.
friendliest bunch.
And because they often face such...
When you're
You know.
begging on the street, if you go to Gay Town, that's where you make the most money.
Bagging? What's that?
If you're begging,
Selling...
if you're
Oh, I
panhandling,
see. I thought you said bagging. I'm thinking of tea bagging. No,
no, if you're panhandling on the street,
no, I mean, this is an uneasy topic for some people.
they
I
give the
appreciate it,
most
but
money.
I
They give
think...
money.
I didn't go in these places looking around for like men. You see, I wasn't like bi curious or something like this. I'm just, but yeah, you will see people who do gravitate to these kind of places because they're lonely. That's all it is. They're not gay. They just might be around that kind of, and that was what it was for me. But the drinking, you see, once I started drinking, I think the problem with me is like it would go through me so fast. I think, oh, fine, and just carry on to the next place. And I would just be like, I would be like an addict craving his next fix, but with lager or something, almost, or with beer. I mean, I knew when to stop, yeah, usually, but it's
Right.
like when you're on an antidepressant or whatever the heck you might be taking, if you're taking a medication for blood pressure, even things like this, to mix medications with anything alcoholic in any, especially like higher quantities, it's just a recipe for trouble because, one time I'm like by the side of a road, like on a, I don't like revealing all these things really. It's not something that I'm proud of in any way, but it's like, it wasn't endangering myself in any way. It was just a suburban area. And then these police just pulled up and I'm like lying on the floor. They just said, "Are you okay?" And then just took me back to where I lived, which was just around the corner. And at that point, I realized, and I mean, what they did was a good thing. I just realized, like, I've got to calm this down. I've got to be like serious about this because this is fucked up. I mean, to put it bluntly, I mean, I thought, and like the girlfriend I had, she would constantly be really nice to me actually about it. She could know if I've been drinking on the phone. She'd say, "Have you disappointed me again or something?" And I mean, her dad died because of alcoholism. She nursed him through his, like, he was just hallucinating and everything. And he was saying to us, "Just thank you so much for looking after me and everything." And the others couldn't handle it going into hospital to see him so much or were so angry or whatever. And she was like, "Why are you saying thank you and stuff?" And when she told me these stories, I was just, it's like, I completely understand every word of this, but it's just almost too much to take in, really. But yeah, we should move on to lighter topics. I think it's just.
Hey, can you explain your theory that you were talking about earlier before we went on? Connections to something you were going to show me with Lynch.
Yeah, I can show you it. I think I've got a new subscriber on YouTube. I think that.
Exactly.
I just want to say that, for instance, people like Sabrina and Lynch, I think that they're fully aware of our channel.
Right.
They're not like monitoring us or anything. They're just aware of it. That's all. And I think Lynch has been interested in the online world now, probably getting on for like nearly 2 decades, really. But I think more recently, since Twin Peaks, he's been involved in a few different things online where he doesn't put his name to it, but I think he's been involved in a more minimal way in some way. Like, for instance, that song 88 Ravens, Judy, and things like this. But
I don't know that song. We can't.
You don't know it?
No, we can't play it for copyright reasons.
It'll be all right, I'm sure. It's not, and I get shoved off for a week again, or my channel gets, and then that's it. Donnie, have you gone or something?
No, I'm sorry.
Make a little noise or something so I know you're here. It's kind of unsettling.
Yeah,
But I mean, I will say that I really, really would like people to start coming on video. Otherwise, it doesn't really work because I need to see someone's face and their reactions and things.
Yeah, Johnny, we wish you would put the camera on, brother.
Yeah, but this right now I got a different computer. I don't have a camera, even an access to a camera. My other computer had it built in.
I'm not talking about it now, am I?
But you're talking in the future, yeah.
Yeah. I'd like to see your face. Don't be so self-conscious.
You don't want to come on camera for some reason yet. Do you have an actual aversion to it, basically?
I did, yeah. Before I did, yeah.
Now?
But I'm saying even now, if I wanted to, I couldn't because I don't even have a
You're a
camera.
good-looking guy. It'll be all right.
Well, I mean, if you're going to get a camera then or something, or what?
Yeah, I'm looking to get one anyways, just to have.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah, it's more expressive for the people at home, the viewer. See somebody's face. What you want to do?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's more relevant to your own channel if you want to have your own channel.
Put the camera high up, John. Looking down. That work.
Obviously, you don't want to do it, so that's fine.
If you're really that self-conscious about it.
I know someone who didn't even want his photo being taken and stuff, you know. So,
Yeah, I'm not that extreme. Yeah.
Well, I don't even think it is extreme. I think it's to do with how you're feeling inside, and
Yeah.
But
with me, I've built up my tolerance probably because I've been on camera for especially since Cameron started. I was never particularly self-conscious anyway. I just really, I mean,
Lord knows that Voltaire is,
Voltaire's a different case. It's like
behind Jim
Cameron
Carrey.
was highlighting
Jim
how I
Carrey.
would come on in a dressing gown and Joe would come on shirtless.
I remember the shirtless one. I've seen that.
And it's
one.
like I don't even remember half of this stuff. I mean, I do, but it didn't really bother me. I just I don't care. Like the difference between me and Cameron is he gets all these people like ragging on him and being just assholes, basically. I mean, yes, it would affect me, but I would probably start up some kind of campaign against them or something online, and then, or I would just accidentally delete my whole channel. Then say, why did I do that?
Yeah.
I don't know, but then kind of try and save as many videos before I did that. Then upload another channel, and then I don't know, it just wouldn't work. You know, I don't deal with it the way Cameron deals with it. He's just like, it's like he's trying to put his head into the storm sort of thing.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
It's very difficult. I do actually now fully sympathise with him, as it's. I mean, for a while it almost seemed kind of it's just ridiculous, But
Yeah, the online trolls and stuff, right?
it was almost like but the thing is, it was like by reacting to it almost, then they're more likely to respond. Then,
Like a circular thing, right? Like you do
especially
one
if
thing,
you're dramatic about it, like.
It's best not to acknowledge it. You're saying, right? Let it just.
You can acknowledge
disappear.
it, but I think it's the way you do it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like
I agree with that. There's a right way and a wrong way.
Cameron, he does enjoy some of the sort of antagonism, but at the same point, he sort of like takes it up a notch. Then it gets up a notch again, and then he's like, "Oh shit,
It's gone too high. Yeah, it's gone to
like a
211.
maelstrom.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like an Arctic bomb or whatever you call it.
Yeah.
That's an actual dessert, but no. Anyway, I'm just glad it's actually light now here.
Yeah, it looks nice.
One thing that I don't like at Christmas is you have to sort of wait around for people a bit, don't you? And stuff.
Yeah.
Sometimes. I mean, like 90-year-old people, they're so fucking slow. Hurry up. Get out of your fucking wheelchair. You
I've said this before, James. You should try out stand-up. You'd be good at stand-up, I think.
No, I know, but the thing is, these jokes are
Consistently, I've
so
said that.
obvious. But when people go to that, it's just like, it tells the most blatant.
Yeah, people look for
untrue,
people
same
like that.
thing.
It's one of those things. People are like, hey, have you heard of this guy? He just he just says it like it is or something.
Yeah. That's what it is, man.
No, don't worry, I'm not. I actually.
Even a couple
The
minute
slowness
videos.
of some old people, like when you get on the bus and stuff, it's like. It's beyond belief sometimes. Like. It's like how let's say there's someone getting off in a wheelchair and the bus driver gets off the bus, opens the ramp when the bus full of people and lets the person with the wheelchair off first. It's like, what the fuck is going on? I mean, I'm not saying it's wrong, but
You
when
got to
the
do
bus-
like Sam
when the
Kinison.
bus-
You got to
the
yell
bus
it. You got to
driver's like 20
scream it.
the bus driver's like 25 stone and he's only 25. You just
Wow.
think, what the fuck's going on? But I don't know. I'm just like basically a mental person, so I can't really comment on any of it. Yeah, I'll show this 88 Ravens for you now.
Check out this theory.
No, I can't get off this now. Oh, for another Qatar.
They
Yeah, I've got Qatar back here. I actually think this is really good myself.
Judy, Judy. It's 10:10 a.m. all alone in my head. I've been thinking of the dream that I told you about. And if green is the color, then Judy, Judy. We live inside a dream, in this world of in-between, and all those things that people said, and how they got inside my head. Judy, Judy, oh, how they got inside my head. My head. Oh, Judy, 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 Judy. It's 10:10 a.m. all alone in my head. I've been thinking of the dream that I told you about. And if green is the color, then Judy, Judy. Judy, Judy. Oh, Judy, Judy. 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 And if green is the color, how they got in my head. They got in my head.
Just check the effects on the actual TV and etc.
Yeah.
Look at the effects here. Look at this, the cover of it as well. It's the exact same cover
Some
design.
things leave you
and things.
guessing.
This is something
MailChimp's
Lynch
Customer
knows
Journey
about,
Builder
at
takes the
least.
guesswork out of email automation
I would say
by sending
more
the right
than knows
message at the
about.
right time,
But-
helping
show you
businesses
the-
generate up to
basically-
4 times more.
See, I've got this new subscriber here, right? Called Isabella Mars, right? Makes me think of Veronica Mars. And I'm thinking, okay, they say, thank you for this Christmas Day video. That was me and Mandela Man. So I go, Isabella Mars, yeah, I've seen her on there before. I think she's either commented or subscribed. Just her picture is Lynchian, just one big shoe, right? This one big red shoe. 17 subscribers. And I start looking at these pictures and thinking, this all look illegitimate. This is possibly someone real. They've got a website. They make stuff to do with ballet, though. In Inland Empire, Lynch had a long shot of a ballerina, for instance.
Yeah.
But then I got onto this video here, the first video posted actually 8 years ago. This is ridiculous, honestly. Aerial animation. Like, all of this is just made up stuff. What's the name of the ship?
Feeling my way through the darkness.
Can you read the ship?
Damfino? SS Damfino?
That's just
Am I saying it wrong?
Well, obviously it's damn fine, isn't it?
Oh.
oh
They tell me I'm too young to understand. They say I'm caught up in a dream.
But this kind of animation is the sort of thing that Lynch
Life will
loves.
pass me by if I
I'm not saying that he
This is
made
pretty good,
this,
actually.
but it's.
So that's fine by
I think
It's
he's
actually
got a
really
hand
awesome.
in some of this stuff in some way. Like we've got now that the cyclone thing. That's like Wizard of Oz.
Right.
But then in a minute, what you'll see seems more than a coincidence. It's
I see what you mean.
even these drawings are Lynchian, but like slightly less kind of scratchy as his style and stuff. But this takes a certain amount of money to do something like this. Now, look, White Horse.
Oh.
This is like the coolest thing I've ever seen in my life. What the heck?
Yeah, like this was never on America's Got Talent, was it?
No.
I couldn't tell you.
Like that's all, folks. And then
That was pretty cool. I like that. That was
it's
awesome.
bizarre. It's like, what's going on? I'm thinking, is these account even real? Like, was it actually loaded 8 years ago? Or is there a way you can actually do it so that it looks like it was uploaded 8 years ago? But the rest of the videos are all completely to just do with ballet. If you go into this person's website here,
Okay.
even this is just like, it's like I think Lynch has reached out to people and said, like, let's do this online presence through something. It's like where we're transcending the internet in a way. Because why would someone who's promoting a firm which makes all these kind of shoes, some of them which are like, which Lynch is interested in, remember?
Yeah.
These are like kind of, I mean, these are £895 for leather kinky boots, basically. Like, I don't want to say that, but
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, these,
Red shoes have a meaning.
some of these are genuine. Well, none of these ones are reds here, but
It's usually like an elite kind of meaning.
oh, those are, just as you said it, coincidentally. So, anyway, they're in London again, like that guy the journalist who has that coffee shop called Wolf Coffee, who put about rumours to do with Lynch and stuff. I mean, I think this woman really is. She's really making these things. It all is real. But I think with Lynch's sort of proximity to the internet and how much he uses it, maybe these people even reached out to him. And then he said, how about we do this video together or something like that. The same with that 88 Ravens thing. It feels like it is a real person who wrote that song and made it based on a lot of dialogue from Twin Peaks. But then there's other stuff in it that gives it that kind of touching, heartfelt thing of a lot of modern acoustic-y sort of pop, which I'm not really into. But the actual music of it especially is really good, I think.
How does that first? Where's that first song coming from? How does that fit?
88 Ravens. The thing is though, if that song's up there, it literally sounds like something which could open a new season of Twin Peaks for me.
Mm.
And I always thought that the way it could go, especially when you look at part 18, is it could kind of be Twin Peaks but filtered through all these other different locations, but not like Dougie. I don't mean that. I mean, like it could be happening in all these different places, for instance. But a bit like the OA, the ending of the second season of the OA. So.
Well, the way he has it now, I mean, if we follow Cooper from the diner onward, we're in a totally different world where anything could happen. A totally different reality.
I mean, in many ways, these things are through the internet, you see. So it could be just through the internet, and there's that aspect of it in season 3. The return. I was watching it again, and like when you look at Hawk's reactions to when he's talking to Margaret on the phone, the log lady, it's like with Hawk, he's gone into that stoical, Indian mode, the Indian American, like. And when he finishes talking to her at the same time, he just sort of looks like this. And the camera just stays on him for about 5, 6 more seconds, 7 seconds. And it doesn't seem like a normal conversation between two people.
I was bawling the first time she died. And they made that call and everything. I was tripping pretty hard too.
Well, I think the whole series is really quite moving in its own ways, but how offbeat it starts, and a lot of those scenes with like that, Hastings, and then the apartment complex. It's even more. I think it was ahead of itself in some ways. It's so unexpected to people who were expecting Twin Peaks, really, and then it just moves partly back into Twin Peaks, but then into these other territories, and you're like, what am I seeing here? Is this Cooper's dream of his return to Twin Peaks in these different guises, or is he, blah blah blah? So anyway, you two have become very quiet now, so I'm just going to have to stop talking because of my throat. So
Yeah, I'm just pondering what you're saying because you're painting a good picture, right? I was just thinking, taking it in.
I will just like to say to Davrin, I'm really sorry you can't stay.
Yes, he too.
It's really upsetting me actually, and if you can come back at any point, please do.
The other day when we were on, I noticed that somebody called Facebook user was making a comment or something like that.
Oh yeah, but that's just because they sometimes when someone writes in from Facebook, it may have been Millie, I don't know, or someone else.
Or
It
Ben.
made it like so they were.
Yeah, Ben actually. Ben does that.
No, it seemed a little bit like
Ben's usually lying on the floor.
Seemed like a created account.
She like on the floor.
Created.
Having drank 10 cans of weak French lager.
Weak French lager. That's a good.
2%.
Yeah, it's like the
Right.
equivalent.
Oh, I've not felt this good since I was
17 years old.
yesterday.
Sorry.
17 years old, yeah. And his mum comes in. Not again, Ben. There's piss all over the floor. It's a good thing we've got these granite floors here.
Yeah, they can just mop it after.
My drinking days are over.
You stopped drinking too. Voltaire told me you stopped drinking.
Only over the last 3 weeks.
Oh.
It's the level of stress that I've brought in, probably.
It's not that I stopped or anything. It's just that I don't.
No, I've got to stop this because James is ringing me up at 1 a.m. I'm like just going out of a cocktail bar, like.
So, I just picture the devil's advocate. I don't know why he lives that life in my head. I don't know why. He's like the Keanu
He used
Reeves.
to do that kind of stuff.
He's the Keanu Reeves of the. You should really change his avatar to
Did I
Keanu
tell you
Reeves.
about when he was in New York and he got thrown through a glass window?
Okay, no, he didn't. Come on.
No, he's always been like he is, like a bit outspoken.
Yeah, one day I'm gonna make it to LA just to visit him. If he's okay with that. Just see
Yeah, the
what
thing
he-
with me is when I was drinking, I would become more quiet, I think,
Yeah, I got like that too.
which is partly why I did it. But I think, yeah,
Yeah.
just like listening to music or something. I just used to enjoy listening to music in places. But then I'd get into like, oh, what's that song not on now? Like, just basically like a Mardy.
Hey, Pimpin'
Rats.
Poppin' Boxing Day.
You should see, there's this one pub in Ilkeston just around the corner, and now not there anymore. It's been demolished. And I said,
wow.
I just went in one time, and the woman said, you're not going to start causing trouble, are you?
Did you walk in?
I was
Oh my
like,
God.
what?
Yeah.
I was thinking, what did I do the last time I came in?
Yeah. She remembered your face. Yeah, so he's back.
I wasn't
He's
causing
back.
trouble. It's just that I was all over the place. I was like, I'd be at the bar, asking people to play music. Then someone would ask to borrow money off of me. This person I used to hang around with, Jason. Give him £10. Then he'd cause the problems. Then I'd be blamed for the problems. I wasn't
Then you-
really.
As a surrogate.
No, like this Jason, he was like really provocative. Like one guy came into a pub and Jason would just say something. This guy, he wound this guy up, and this guy just came up to him and smashed him around the back of the head with
Oh,
a
fuck. Yeah.
pool cue. He had like a really bad cut here, and he
Yeah.
shook him up. And he didn't deserve that in any way.
No,
he was
that's
just an
ridiculous.
easy victim. It was absolutely wrong. I mean, Jason was insane though. He'd like start busting out Michael Jackson moves at any point. And it's like,
Whoa, maybe he
this is the
deserved
kind
it.
of thing
No, I'm
that's
kidding.
gonna. No, it was.
I'm joking.
I mean, it was before all of the sort of like any defaming people, but I mean, he was irritating, I mean, with me, I just would go in somewhere like not drinking, like there'd be a pool ball flying off the table. Like first time, they're like, "Okay, but lads, can you just calm it down?"
Yeah, but 2 or 3.
Like,
That's
5
it.
minutes later,
That's it. Yeah.
poor ball hands in somebody's pint. I mean, that point, okay, right? Yeah, you barred. Oh, I thought everything was fine. I mean, all I was doing was like making the balls go flying off the table
Oh my God.
on purpose. We thought it was like a romper room, like, you know. If only we could go back to those days where the whole town was like your playground, you know.
Yeah, but could you imagine what it would be for somebody else watch? Like if you were to watch yourself today do what you were
I know.
acting
I
like
just
then.
think, what are those twats doing?
Yeah, but
It
they'd
was
be
an old
yourself.
man. It was
you know what I
actually
mean?
like more like a restful pub, and we didn't recognize that. We were just like,
Yeah, because they were coming there after a 9 to 5, or who knows, maybe a 6 to 4 or whatever, and they're just trying to wind down. You know?
or they were employed. They didn't want twats coming in going, "Hey, yeah, have you got any Michael Jackson on the jukebox?"
Michael Jackson. Yeah.
Well, no, not doing it in American. They would go in. Honestly, they'd be playing OMD and 80s music, and I used to actually enjoy it. So that's why I was upset that I got barred for a while. So,
He got barred from
then they just forget about it. I mean, it wasn't serious, but it is serious. Like when you grow up in a rough town. Well, I didn't grow up there, but I moved there, and it was like the whole place was just bars and pubs. That's it. Inevitably, some of them closed down, but yeah. Like there was a girl who was in the TV show This Is England, and I was just like, oh, in there in the bar talking to her and stuff, and you know, it's just
Oh, wow.
a lot of people from that show were from that area.
So I made my recommendation. Alex Kister. You boys look him up. What
Has
are
it got
your
anything to do with what we were just talking about?
What have you boys been watching lately? Have you seen anything
EastEnders.
that's worth?
Yeah,
Um,
no
let me
big
check.
recommendations, to be honest. I wish
Basically,
I did have
my Fire Stick thing stopped working, and I just gave up on it because, you know, the way you connect it to the TV and everything is a bit tricky, and I don't want to screw this TV up. But essentially, I was using like stuff off of the Kodi Fire Stick thing where you can download films, watch films. I mean, not download, just streaming. But then it just stopped working, and the amount of instructions you have to go through to just load these things up properly, and then they don't work. It's like, oh,
Does your computer have an HDMI out? Because you always can get a cord and just hook it up to your
yeah,
TV.
there's that. But
It's an option.
but you know, there's a lot of stuff now coming out, and I think this year, next year, for instance, is apparently going to be a big year for cinema. Whether it's that, I mean, it doesn't mean it's going to be good, but
Yeah, you have Indiana Jones, right? And
I think
then
it's pandemic.
There's gonna be a lot of stuff in the
that one with
summer.
the doll that we saw that trailer for. That people are actually getting hyped for that. I keep forgetting what it's called. That one with that doll that's like a little girl.
Oh yeah, I watch that at home.
Yeah,
Well, let's just concentrate on what we're watching now rather than what's coming, because I think
what's coming up? Yeah.
just speculating on what these things are going to be like is
Indiana Jones and Mario Brothers.
Mario
things
Brothers
like
also.
that. They're only going to be a variation on what we
Going
already
to-
think they're going to be like, but
Hmm.
it's about whether they're done well.
Yeah.
And I think the people are probably a bit
Indiana
able to do things a bit better than they were during the pandemic now. Like, there were films coming out like Marvel and stuff where the special effects in Far From Home, or No Way Home, they looked like they were literally finished
So bad.
in a couple of days or something. Like,
Yeah.
Indiana Jones is hanging by a thread.
Well, they've already done 7 different endings. and
we're
they're-
finished
they're-
talking about that now, madam.
They're redoing an ending, another one.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, no, but it doesn't mean anything if you just say it.
I got it.
It's just tenuous.
Well,
Bear in mind, I'm about to just.
the guy has a continuity. You gotta don't screw your own continuity, Disney. That's just
Great. That's great advice. Thank you.
all I'm saying.
Well, have you heard of Freevee?
No.
Yes. Yes.
It's showing me now a film, Pirates of Somalia. What's just come out on Netflix is the Glass Onion, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I will watch that probably. I'm not actually.
I refuse
excited
to
about
watch
it.
anything that's Ryan Johnson made. I refuse.
Well, that's kind of going against the point of Coffee Time. You see.
Or just Ryan Johnson specifically.
No, I know, but you've got to watch it nonetheless, because otherwise there's nothing to talk about. We've got to watch what comes out. I mean, I'm now actually watching all of Harry and Meghan intently, hoping to do a full
Oh,
breakdown.
I'm glad.
of that
Finally,
entire
somebody.
series
You
with
too.
Voltaire.
Finally. I'm kidding.
Well, no, Voltaire. It's not a question of finally. It's a question of bringing it to the outreaches of the internet. So.
Well, we should be covering Willow.
There's
Willow
that
just came
show on.
out. We should be covering what else came out? There's a few things that just came out.
I don't know. Maybe you and Mandela Man can do that because
There's-
you're into dwarf stuff. So.
No, I heard it's pretty. They're not faithful to that adaptation.
What do you mean by that?
Okay, so you've seen the original one, right? From the 80s, or no? The original
What's that?
Willow.
Just imagine
what
I
are you
have,
talking
yes. Just imagine. I
Okay,
have.
so if you have James, right?
yeah.
I went to the cinema to see it.
Okay, so now imagine. Okay, now this literally continues right from the day of how that one ends, but now they've taken it into a whole new direction where they got a band of 5 people, and each one is like they're terrible dialogue, terrible. It's really bad. I've been watching it. It's kind of cringy at times. Literally, the Willow character, he pulls out a flamethrower at one point, like a flamethrower. That would have been so useful at so many other early points. The guy asks him, "Where'd you get that from?" Don't ask. And he runs away, never talks about it again. You know, it's like, what? A flamethrower?
Yeah, but what is the show actually like? Is it good or is it not good?
It's
In what
not good, James, because it's long, drawn out scenes. You will see some moments of fantasy, but then it's very today's writing. What I mean by it's today's dialogue. They'll talk like today, so it doesn't have a fantasy writing.
Is the story
in
any
the story
way
of anyway what?
involving? Is it?
No, I wish it was. The main girl they're supposed to be protecting.
I
is
think unfortunately a lot of the
constantly-
things you're describing are just catering it to today's
Yeah.
audience. You see.
Yes. And you know what, James, if I can continue, if you were to put Wheel of Time, this show, and Lord of the Rings, and pick a random scene from any one of them, you would think you're watching the same show. That's how bland fantasy has become. It's not imaginative.
That's right.
They all look the same and they all act the same, you know, even though you're watching very different properties, you know, but yet they're all treated the same way in their dialogue. And
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, I know it's.
What about
I tried to watch
1899?
that Foundation too. And
I watched that. That was very long and drawn out. I wish that was a movie. That would have been a great movie.
that was good. I liked it.
What about? What you both watched
It was
all of
good.
it?
Yeah, I watched all of
It
it.
had some.
Very long.
Oh well, can you say
Had
maybe
some
a
of the
bit more
same
about it,
beats
both of you?
from-
Is it basically like
it had some of the
not,
same
like Dark, but not as interesting?
Yeah, it's taken
Because
down a
The
notch.
thing with
Yeah.
Dark is it basically interested me because it's like school leavers or that kind of age, and then
Yeah.
adults and them when they were older, a bit itchish
Yeah,
like that.
exactly.
But
Yeah.
with this, it's just a bunch of random people on a boat.
Yes,
and I'm just like,
exactly. Yeah, very
obviously
drawn
got
out.
their own
James.
problems, and you
Mhm.
know, it's just
A lot of
the first
unnecessary
episode
drama.
was like so slow.
Yeah, imagine that for every episode, James. And then there's the reveal at the end, right?
It's only
Just-
8 episodes, so
Yeah, but like it feels so drawn out, James. And then when you see that last scene, that's supposed to antagonize you to come back to the next season. But what you've just gone through is just like so
down.
excruciating. Because I know what you mean. Because just like what else would you like? I understand it's something to continue watching, but it could have been a lot. You know, editing today. You know, me and James have talked about how movies are too long sometimes. Sometimes a series. can
Mandela
be
Man's
cut down.
sound has gone wrong now again.
You think so? I didn't think it was too long. It went by pretty quick. I watched it all in a day.
Whoa.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, but you do that. That's how you watch stuff. So
correct.
that doesn't necessarily indicate that it's great, though, does it?
Yeah.
Hmm.
The Willow, I'll wait till it's all bundled together. 'Cause I don't even.
I mean,
want-
I think with Carl, he's just very into those for whatever reason. But I mean, he is in Sweden, so
Yeah, yeah.
you know, it's nearer to his kind of area. And
Well, I always thought the same about the British when it came to fantasy.
I think Dark was more.
It's a
involved in
misconception. I always thought the British loved fantasy stuff, but then I'm sorry, I've been obviously misconceived. Unless you're just kind of.
Well, no, I wouldn't describe 1899 as strictly fantasy. It's
Poor Voltaire's been having nightmares tonight. He's been having a hot sweat and just getting up from
Oh,
nightmares.
really?
Yeah, it's in this. It's in
What
the
are you
chat.
talking about?
It's in the chat. I'm suffering from repeated nightmares tonight.
Oh, I'm sorry, Voltaire.
Are you okay?
Are you
It's,
joking or
What are you
serious?
dreaming about, Voltaire?
come on the show and you'll really talk it out, brother.
Tell us your dream.
What do you say? Wank it out.
Don't talk it out. Let us know, bro. That's what it's waking
Let us
up.
know.
Maybe he really is. I don't think he would write this kind of thing as a joke, to be honest. So,
Dreamer is dreaming about.
You know what it was? He probably fell asleep to this chat, and then we probably gave him a night. We induced a nightmare or something.
no, this chat would more likely result in a good sleep, in my opinion. It's quite restful overall. Our talking and stuff. For me, anyway,
I agree.
find
No,
it
you're
restful.
right. You're right. Yeah. Sometimes
I
the
think-
subject matter gets deep. Sometimes, but then if we're talking about like movies and stuff, yeah.
When Mandela Man talks, yeah, I mean, it really is. It goes so deep, I can't even see the start from, the ending of my own asshole.
Whoa.
We just approach the rabbit hole. We never go down.
We approached the what?
We only,
You heard what he said. You
We
know
approached
what
the
he
hole. I don't want to go anywhere
You
near
know
that hole,
exactly
man.
what he said.
Yeah.
Can you stop forcing me to see the hole?
The rabbit hole. That asshole.
You got me figured out, Mr. Young. Yeah. Mr.
You're really doing it to me now.
That's it for him now. That's it.
Yeah. It's a
Shut
Freudian slip.
Shut up, Bigfoot.
What? Who's Bigfoot?
No, we were talking about, there's this guy, Jason.
We were talking. You were going on about it, and I was just sitting there like this.
Okay, Mandela Man, what was James talking about? But you gotta tell me now what he was. I'm kidding.
There's this guy, Jason
I
James
was not
Big-
talking about anything.
No, that's why I'm joking. Yeah.
There's this guy on YouTube, Jason James Bickford, and he kind of goes into theories about the media and
There's a lot of them. Yeah.
stuff we consume. And he has a
It
theory.
was about oatmeal. This sounds bad. Now I'm
Yeah.
intrigued.
Oh,
Get me to this channel now.
He has a
Bring
theory.
me.
Somebody knew about his theory of everything, and that like the Bigford Schmeckler's Cool Ideas movie, he thinks that's written about his actual like theory of everything, like his life. And
No,
you know,
you're talking about someone who's basically
you ever see that movie Bigford Schmeckler?
turned his fantasy
Come-
life into
Matthew-
reality because of
Oh.
schizophrenia. It's not
We were
like his
talking about-
choice.
We were
It's-
talking about Matthew Lillard and how he stars in that movie, and he's talking about aliens in a different dimension and how he's in The Return.
That was called the film Lillard's Anal Probe, the movie.
Yeah.
Great film.
the movie.
That was Lillard said, I'm going to write the theme tune, sing the theme tune, and it's going to be called Matthew Lillard's Anal Probe. All right, Matthew. Okay. You're funding it. That's fine. Because you got all that money from Scooby-Doo 2.
Scooby-Doo 2.
And you invested it wisely
Mm-hmm.
in a convenience store.
Bigford's YouTube channel is, I mean, he does do pretty good theories. Like he's like a high functioning autistic,
I thought you said he's schizophrenic.
something like that.
There is an incidence of that.
It gets like his theories are pretty right on though, and
So
it
he
just,
basically knows that he's
borders-
suffering from delusions, but he
it
kind of,
just borders on the schizophrenic line sometimes.
I think you would call it schizotypal. That's what it is.
It's
Like
not-
schizophrenia, but not fully
yeah,
to the point where people are going down the street,
he's definitely onto something, but he takes it a bit.
weird
Far.
shit, basically. Most schizophrenic people are completely harmless. They're just, they're a pain in the arse, though. That's it. So, I mean, if you go past someone's house and you just hear them inside or their flat, they're just shouting.
Yeah.
That's not good. I mean, for one thing, it's really annoying, and you just think, shut the fuck up. And, then you kick the door down and say to them, have you ever thought about just listening to some good music? Have you heard of the band Aha? Hunting high and low, my schizophrenia is cured. Yeah, so yeah. Anyway, talking of that, yeah, what did they use as the theme tune for the new Last of Us TV show?
He's got some good theories.
Take on Me. All right, just leave that now, Mandela Man. It's not that interesting. It just sounds like someone sort of immersing themselves in the smell of their own ass. I
No,
don't mean
no,
to be horrible, but
I wouldn't say that. Wouldn't say that.
like, I'm not going to go and wash myself today because I like that smell.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
but you're going to a party next year in 2 days.
Trying to think of the channel's name.
And, you know, the whole room smells like your anus.
Oh.
Oh, mummy, I'm playing on my Atari.
Atari.
But yesterday, you pulled down your pants and shat on the Atari, so it's not working now. Oh,
Atari's making a comeback.
not in the way I want it to come back, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Come back. I mean, I would play VR. I mean, imagine playing a VR Atari game, sex one,
I've
kind of a sex game version of Pong.
Yeah.
Actually,
And the ball just goes into another ball, and you're like, oh yeah.
there,
Okay.
It'd have to be mainly noise, like
You would have to a lot of noises.
whoa,
Yeah.
whoa.
Great.
Millie could do some of the noises.
Oh, we
for us,
don't
I'm
want
kidding.
a gay version of Pong VR, okay?
No, I said Millie could do the noises. It wouldn't be gay.
Oh, I saved something for you guys. Let me see if I can find it.
He's having nightmares of you, Millie.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I actually found a picture of Millie on the internet the other day. I'll show it. So,
She's coming at him with like a doll of himself. He's like huge in her hand. I don't know. Voltaire, is this your face? Arr.
I'm worried now about Voltaire.
He's in a cold sweat right now.
To bring up a few things. Images are always safe, whereas clips are
It was-
forbidden
It was
territory.
a commercial on YouTube for an AI masturbator.
Well, speaking of AI, here's a little subject. Did you hear the controversy about AI art?
An AI masturbator. What are you talking about?
I don't
It was
even know.
Dude,
All right.
Here's a real. Wait. Come on.
All right, can we just you talk? Continue, Johnny.
I
Sorry.
wrote it down.
I'm going to call this video AI masturbation.
Yeah.
Put my name at the end.
But what would the AI do? Like, how?
I'm
How's-
not really involved. I'm just there.
It like the commercial broke it down and like you saw it's like state of the art. Put this, it's titanium in here. And
Imagine getting electrocuted from fucking your computer.
One thing I've noticed is there's no subtlety anymore.
Most-
Everything's
No.
just like
Yeah, it's the
these
cyberpunk
advertising
era. I'm
things
telling
that got
you.
nothing to do with anyone. Like, yeah, it is like that. It's like how in the start of Blade Runner, there's just massive,
Yeah, exactly.
the hovering ads. Of
Yeah,
like, but
exactly.
Even in that they're kind of beautiful. In our
Yeah,
reality,
yeah.
they're just like, what?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I agree with what you just said.
I'm
Everything
not
you just
interested in
said.
this food. I don't want to drink like this whiskey with someone banging gongs and people dancing down the street or something. It's just like,
A short circuit sex machine, huh, Millie? It becomes sentient and just
was
starts
my
walking
first-
around.
yeah,
Oh my God.
first thought was
Johnny
like,
Five is alive and
It's
he's
gonna-
got
It'd be like more like Jenny 5, I guess. If
Well,
it's-
no, that's what would happen now. If they made a Short Circuit 3, it would probably be like
Oh, please
Johnny
don't
Five
ever do
becomes a sex feed.
that. No, don't ever do that. Please don't ever do that, Hollywood.
Just turning up in parks at
Oh
night.
no, don't ruin my image of Johnny
Have you
5.
seen my
Leave him
new
alone.
What? There's like tramps in the park or something going, Roger.
I was just gonna say there's a controversy with artists right now who are angry
you say?
with AI
Artist?
art. No, I'm like actual like artists who draw and paint.
yeah, I agree. Yeah.
The AI art, you can put in just a subject, and they can just within seconds give you a picture that's absolutely beautiful. But it takes all the art out of the artist wanting to do it. You know,
But
it's-
people know what's real and what's just.
yeah, but it's that it's so easy now, James. It could eliminate them as even a something to do. You know, it's like why do that when I can just get this and just type it in? It looks better or something. You know, it's weird. You know.
That's true. Yeah. I think
It would
though
be-
that people always know when something has been painted. Though, for instance.
Do you think, I was thinking about this on a side note, do you think in the future, it's not even a joke, do you think movies might be made by AI? Like, you know, they might put in subject,
Some will be, yeah.
futuristic, and then they put in something and all of a sudden an AI generated script.
I
and-
think some of those Marvel films feel
Oh,
like they
definitely.
are anyway.
Yeah. Yeah.
Especially during the pandemic, it's like
Mhm.
I think you're when you get louder, your kind of mic sounds a bit kind of
Distorting? I get a little bit closer to it each time. There we go.
Don't get too close. It's
Yeah.
Johnny,
if you can anyway. I know
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
getting quite. You've gone into like Howard Stern mode, but
Howard Stern. That's
They
a
could-
good reference.
with
to
his
it.
massive real hair. I mean,
Yes, yes.
I should come on with those wigs on too.
You should. And I've always
You know,
wanted
my
you to
wigs-
dress in a suit like Cooper. You know? It'd be
No,
good.
my wig. The wigs I had, I was thinking like they were not very good. Then the other day, oh, where are they? And then I realised I probably took them away. I did chop them up a bit, and they were getting a bit bad. But that's just typical. I always get upset when I do something like that.
Millie's anti-AI and anti-robots. She never respect robots.
I don't know.
It's true,
I think you need to just check your mic because it's going into this kind of like bit a bit. You know, just trying to make sure it's you.
Is it a little bit better? No? Or no?
Well, both of you, just make sure you're both all right. Yeah, Mandela Man. I mean, when are you going to be able to get a laptop? Because I mean, if we did a fundraiser, you never know. There might be just one person who'll give like $100 to you, but I highly doubt it, to be honest. Because
You never know.
Yeah.
I think most of your money is spending on illicit substances at this point. So,
No, my aunt said it's in the shop.
i.e.,
No.
lube.
It's coming, but I don't know when.
It's
I
coming.
Yeah,
Can you stop saying stuff like that? Just say it's.
my aunt said it's. They
You
were
aren't saying it's coming in itself is disturbing.
giving me a computer, but they're so concerned about their information on there that they wanted to get it like professionally wiped before they gave it
Just
to me.
inject some bleach into the UA or something. It'll be all right.
Bleach bit or whatever.
Just chuck it in a river, and then by the time the river current has taken it away, you don't have to worry about it anymore.
Yeah.
Then you wouldn't have a laptop, though, would you? Just,
but it's going to be an old,
Defeats the purpose.
it's kind of
2012.
Oh, actually, coming on Friday, White Noise. I do actually want to watch
Love
that.
and
Film. I recommend that to everyone. If you've never watched films by
Michael Keaton, that one?
Alback or whatever.
The one with Michael Keaton in it? That one? Or no?
Why would I say?
What?
Why don't turn what I'm saying always into a joke.
Yeah.
No. There's a movie called White Noise, and it's Michael Keaton's in it. And there's two
Yeah,
movies.
but when did that come out?
A couple of years ago.
No, it came out over 10 years ago, I think.
Oh, did it? I literally saw a review not too long. I have no idea when. You
Christ
just
on earth.
Yeah, you
Why
just
do
triggered my
really
memory.
need
when you
to,
said-
like, just
Johnny,
check Netflix and stuff.
the artificial intelligence you're talking about,
yeah.
it would be great if they could utilize that in video games, and because that could create a lot of the
Well, it's funny you said that. The newest Grand Theft Auto remaster, they used AI to upscale and do everything. And what happened is some of the jokes they had on some of the billboards were completely changed because the computer didn't understand them. So if there was a joke with a hot dog and it said like Billy's Meats, it would change it to Bill.
Don't think so. I know so. Get it!
Okay. Bill's Meats or something, like it would completely change. You get rid of the joke or something if it was.
There's some
something
shit
funny.
noise going on again. Like, I can't carry on doing the show if it's going to be like this. Okay. I just found this picture of Billy, by the way. Thanks for sending this, Millie. I appreciate it.
what?
It's very attractive, especially the forehead there. I think is really.
Chucky's mom.
Thank you again. Okay, is there anything else you two wants to just mention before we finish, or?
No.
I think you're both quite tired now, so.
AI, but like, I forgot what I was gonna say.
Go and wrap yourself up in bed and text
He's cracking me with the dog.
Voltaire wishing him well, because I think right now he's gone into a fever state of delirium or something.
He's living the life of Dougie right now. I'm kidding.
Well, it's not really that, though, is it, what Dougie's experiencing? It's not delirium.
What's up?
No.
He is. Yeah. That's the beginning of Dougie's journey.
All right, then. Well, anyway, everything's gone quite quiet now, so I think we'll just end it there, and I just need to get ready to go out in a bit and have about, like I said the other day, I need about an 8 hours walk every time I do one of these videos just to
just to clear your head.
Well, I need to go to the shop, but then after that, I will probably go for maybe a walk of about.
You know what? I know what I was going to say.
Two minutes.
Johnny, you know how you're saying that the AI changes the billboard?
Yeah.
When I was playing with it, I noticed that it would do that in certain pictures. So I copied down whatever the letters were that it put.
Yeah.
And then fed that back to it
Mm-hmm.
in the prompt, and it would start spitting out its own images, like own independent thought.
Yeah.
Images that correlated to each other, like one after the other.
But the thing with AI, sometimes they don't get jokes, right? Or an inside joke, like if you're making a reference to something or a movie reference, and if it's on a billboard, it sometimes might not understand it.
Might not. They don't have AI doesn't have a sense of humor.
Yeah, or pretty much doesn't understand it. That's the problem right now.
The first time
it doesn't understand it at all.
Yeah.
The first time I did it, John, it spat out like just a cute kitty cat picture, right?
Yeah.
So I found out that all these AIs, when they are first taught how to think, that is the first program that they're taught about is cats.
When I see cats, though, I don't actually think they're cute. I immediately think I want to get a gun and blow its head.
Oh, come on. What? Oh, my God.
So I wanted to do it again.
So, I mean, is that wrong?
Yeah.
I wanted to do it again.
It's so annoying. You just sit around like,
they chill.
Food,
they just chill.
Stroke me.
Yeah.
Or I might accidentally scratch you, which I actually enjoy that. Especially,
It sounds like my cat.
I was naked with a cat one time outside, and it scratched my balls.
Okay.
My penis.
One more thing about AI before we get off the subject is the one problem they actually have.
We're just going to finish the show.
The one problem AI has is drawing
and
hands.
Just start talking about something else.
Hands for some reason. They can't do hands. I don't know why.
It's because hands are notoriously difficult for even humans to do. So
you're right. You're absolutely right for that.
When you try drawing hands, it's like
you're absolutely right. Yeah.
It's like getting a rabid cat off of your bell.
Just throw some treats in the corners.
Your Christmas bell, not your. I don't mean your penis bell. I mean, if you've got an actual cat clawing your bell, that would be a serious,
Now I'm imagining you have a feud with a cat and he's outside your window. He stares you down during the day.
Yeah, you ran out naked. Say, what's your problem? And then it scratched your penis.
You do the zoom in.
You're in the bathroom crying, going, I don't think Savlon's going to fix this.
Oh my God, how deep did he scratch?
I'm running it under the hot tap. The tap's too hot.
How deep did he scratch it? Oh my
I've made my whole bell go really big.
Oh my God. How deep was the scratch?
You've burnt your penis. Ow.
Oh, you made it worse. That's two things. Oh my God. Oh.
I suppose you could always put then you could put Vicks Vapor Rub on your penis.
Oh my God. Oh. Burn. Oh my God. The burning.
It would be like a warm sort of coldness.
Cold, warm uncomfortableness. Yeah.
The toothpaste now. I'm going to inject some toothpaste into my urethra.
Oh my God. There was a guy from.
I actually did do that in a gay club once.
There was a guy.
I'm not gay.
There was a guy on Howard Stern who wanted to do a remedy. He had some rash on his penis, so he put yogurt.
What?
24 hours later, he got such a bad infection because of the yogurt and the bacteria. He had to be rushed to the hospital.
You put yogurt.
Yeah, so never do that as a warning. Always talk to your doctor. Yeah.
What kind of yogurt was it? Jesus.
Just one of those, pure health, organic
live
yogurts.
culture ones.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Because you can put that on rocks and things and stuff in your garden, and it helps moss grow. So
Oh wow, that's a good.
to get this, it makes me think of that Creep Show episode with Stephen
Mhm,
King.
yes,
Where
yes.
like, you don't want old moss growing on your knob.
When Stephen King guest starred in that one, right? He became a huge grass.
Yeah,
tree
that's
or
what I'm
something.
talking about.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah.
That film was like a fever dream for me, especially when I was young. But it
yeah.
literally is.
Mm-hmm.
The way Romero directed and everything. It's a really
Yes,
good
I
film.
agree with you. Yeah.
Creepshow 2 was not a great follow-up, but it still had its merits, I suppose.
Yeah, and they just went kind of downhill, sadly, from there.
Well, after I don't know. I've never even seen Creepshow.
Yeah, I think they did. Yeah, it's like animated.
yeah.
Or the first part is animated. And it's weird,
Well, they always have that bit in, but the Creepshow series is like, it just felt like not as good anyway to me. So, I mean, it probably had its highlights, but
Well, the series was good or the movies, I can't remember because I remember they had some cast members from Twin Peaks in it. They had my favorite, sorry, I'm blanking out on his name, but he's, the one who was going out with Audrey near the end. I always forget his name.
Billy Zane.
Yeah, he was in the Tales from the Crypt movie. Really good. Over the top, obviously.
Well, that's not Creepshow. That's something else.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, they very much. I don't think they would have made a Tales of the Crypt movie if Creepshow hadn't been a success. So
absolutely, you're right. Yeah, I agree with that.
And then, I mean, they wouldn't have made Creepshow 2 if it wasn't a success. But Creepshow 2 was like a bit of a. Yeah, it was like a half-hearted sort of follow-on, but it had the bit with the hitchhiker. I did think was particularly good, where he kept saying to the woman like, "Thanks, lady, for the ride," or whatever. Thanks for the ride. Kept popping up. That was you got to admit that was pretty funny. But,
yeah.
But George Kennedy and that like animated big Indian, American Indian, that was not great for me. And then the raft or whatever it was, that was okay though. That was quite good. It was ridiculous. Apparently, though, the special effects, they really struggled with all that, like making it on the budget and everything, like of that kind of globular thing creeping across the lake, and the actors themselves were actually getting caught up in it and stuff. So it was like now it'd all be CGI probably. And
which is sad because practical always looks better.
I mean, it didn't look
tangible.
particularly good in Creepshow 2, but it's like. It still looks tangible, like you say.
Yeah, exactly.
It still has that kind of. It looked like basically a bunch of plastic bags and stuff, all fastened together with like some kind of substances on it, but like jelly or something. But which it probably was, but that made it funnier. So it had that kind of campy quality to it.
Yeah, exactly, which is nice to add to a movie. Something this what gives it a cult, quote unquote cult.
Yeah, it's like those Marvel films. They don't have that. They're not.
No, there's no life or soul in that.
I thought that the new one would be
no life or soul.
No Way Home. I thought it would have more of that, but it was just frenetic all the way through, and it made me just feel like.
And I knew it was going to be like that, James, when I saw the trailer, because when I saw what the concept was, and this is their whole new problem. They always make the good guys the bad guys. They always do the dumb mistakes. And Doctor Strange literally causes the entire
never goes
problem.
anywhere. It's a lot of fuss over nothing. It's got one or two bits, well, a few bits in it that are impressive. From
like a set piece, exactly, like a set piece. Right?
Like where they're going through different, it was a bit like a preview of the Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah,
probably as a film is a bit more captivating because it's Sam Raimi. But
I like that. Yeah, I liked it because of Sam Raimi and because of Elizabeth Olsen. I like her.
Have you watched Black Adam? Johnny.
Well, she is good in that role. I will say.
I did. It was kind of disappointing. I feel sorry for The Rock because now he's kicked out of DC.
It was like a parody of a hair.
I doubt he's that bothered because I mean the amount of films he can do. It's like
but it was one of those things, James. Like imagine you had a project you've been doing movies, but then you get into the stuff you want to do. It doesn't come out right, that type of thing. Now
is that sort of thing that he wanted to do then?
I think so. He said 13 years he's been wanting to, and then when he was a kid, he liked the comics and stuff. So I believe it. I'll take him by face.
I don't even know anything about that character.
I honestly don't either, and I love DC. I'm a fan like Mandela Man of Batman, right? And
why is he called Black Adam? What? Because he's black?
Never heard.
I don't even know, to be honest. I think the even character is.
That,
I don't even think it is. Yeah, to be honest.
He is coincidentally.
Is he in the comic? Because I don't know too much about the comic.
Like half black, I think.
Well, it's not. It must be something more.
It's supposed to be 10.
It must be about the super hero qualities and all that. But
because you got
What
the
does The Rock
physicality.
do as a superhero other than be big and
The
strong?
physicality, yeah, you need that extra charisma, exactly, James, and you need a story. One thing I could just to put out there.
I do think the new Knives Out is worth watching because of Dave Bautista in it. So
Oh, okay, you know what? I do like David.
you
Okay,
ought to
cool.
give
I
him a
will.
chance because he's swimming, and then I think they've upped this one, and it's all set in not in a house or any of that business like Predictable.
Yeah,
It's like by the sea, and they're in a pool, and Dave Bautista is swimming in it. He
Mm.
gets out, and he's like, "Yeah!" All this kind of he's massive,
yeah.
and like the people there are like, "All right, yeah," like typical kind of scenario for this kind of film, and outspoken Americans and all that. And sorry, I read across the line on that one.
I'm okay. I'm not American.
But then
I'm
he
Canadian.
goes, "Yeah!" And he pulls out a gun from his actual
Oh, shoot. It's
trunks,
like a
tight
yeah.
speedos, where you can see everything, and he fires it into the air.
Oh my god! You know those bullets come
It's
back
like the
down.
most
you know?
IT moment of all time. And the character played by Daniel Craig says, "What? Oh, you've got a nice piece there, or whatever." And he says, "Yeah, you never know when shit's gonna go down." Or something.
Yeah.
I mean, and he's got Edward Norton in it, so yeah.
Random weird fact. Whenever you see those like terrorist videos and they're shooting up in the air, 5 minutes later, half those bullets come back, and three or four people will die literally because the bullets fall back down onto them. Sorry, I just had to throw that out there. No, seriously, then they come up with just as much velocity because they go up to the point of no, and then they come back down just as fast.
Did they?
Yeah, trust me. If they don't hit a target and they just go straight up, James, gravity, they'll stop eventually and come back down with the same force in that same area.
No, but they wouldn't come down with the same force because by that point it's dispensed.
But trust me, the odds of like in a group of people, within 5 minutes, you better run from that area at least, you know.
Well, yeah, if one of them hits you, it could.
That's it. Yeah.
I'm not sure about killing you, but it could definitely.
Oh my god! Yeah.
It could really injure somebody. Yeah, there's that. But the thing that people who shoot them up, they will get out of the way.
Yes, it's just the people that are celebrating after. They're the ones that somehow get it after. But to go back to films quickly, James, the big problem right now with James Cameron. Yeah, whatever they're doing. Exactly. The big problem, James,
release of a new Ed Sheeran single.
The new Avatar movie. And if you do see it, James, let me know, because if you see it, I'll make that you won't. Okay. Because I heard it's all spectacle, right? And I feel that's the biggest
It looks
problem.
terrible.
The biggest problem James Cameron is doing right now, if I could just little spiel here, is like since the dawn of time, since movies started, since black and white films, silent films, the whole point of movies is telling a story. That's never changed, no matter how much spectacle you put into it.
Yeah,
so to
I
create
think
a story that's all
them,
spectacle.
but it's just that I'm not interested in it.
Apparently, he's retold the first one, and me and you, James, right? We've only watched like the first half, right, or something. We always stop it or something. You said, or I've never finished it.
No, I just found it.
God, it's awful.
Yeah, I've never finished
Avatar, I just found it like kind of not interesting to me. I hate to use the word boring. I didn't find it boring. It just seemed like
the bland, because the main guy is so bland, right? He's so uncharismatic. The main
that
character,
aspect,
right?
yeah, Sam Worthington in particular.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, Avatar 2, I think everybody knows it's not going to do as well as they might hope, but I think for a long time it was pretty apparent that they knew it would only do so good because they're using the same effects as they used 12 years ago.
And apparently telling the same story. Apparently they're rehashing the exact same story.
Well, I'm sure it's not exactly the same. It's like a film has to be different to appeal to people, you know.
The MacGuffin hunt.
Yeah, exactly. Instead of unobtainium, it's a liquid from a brain from a whale or something. Yeah.
Okay, well, does anyone want a topic to end on, or
I just wanted to mention my point about the cats is
this a topic to end on, or is this just another
keep
thing that'll lead to another thing, another thing, another thing, another thing?
Keep entering in with the AI is you if it was good, because eventually it'll go past. You know that cat video isn't just a one-off, or it is just a one-off. After that, like it started to see like a figure, which I assume is maybe the soul of the actual AI, and it would do like him, and then it would the next picture and it would be a totally different message. Next picture I put in, it would be him again, but like morphed into like an alien him.
See, that's the thing. You're probably learning how to actually be to look, to look like how we look and to sound like it. He just learns, right?
Then the next one was him with his skin stripped off, so you saw
shit, that's some bone,
of the same person.
Lovecraftian shit. Yeah.
The next one was like him starting to turn trans. Then the next one was him as a woman.
Okay, this might be reading your phone and anything you may have searched and putting that into that. Maybe. Okay.
This is creepy as hell, John. Like when it kept going. I'm
When you
thinking,
is it on your phone? And when it asks you, when you install it, do you allow it to access your info? Like, you know when
it
it was
was
allow?
it was on my brother's phone.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because usually you
I-
have to allow it, and then it'll search
part-
anything. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's
Anything
part
you've
of it.
ever searched or anything, you'll use that within its connotations to try to actually simulate something that represents you, right? That's how it kind of gets you. Whatever's on your phone or thinks it knows about you,
Oh,
you can then
That's representative of me, not
yeah,
necessarily the
yeah,
AI.
yeah. Because right now it's still learning, right? It's not hasn't. If it was sentient, it'd be on its own. But because it's learning from you, it's literally
The guy-
it's mimicking you.
like it looked like
Oh no, it'll look like some
it
crazy.
looked like
yeah.
Perry Farrell, like an old ass Perry. Like,
Yeah, but I'm saying intelligence wise, it's now it's almost like the neutron. It's emulating you and almost creating a copy of you in a digital realm. It's kind of weird if you think about it. It's like creating what you are, what it thinks you are, from whatever it thinks you search or like, and then creating that based behind the scenes. So it's
but
like
that's
built
what I'm saying. It's not me. It's on my brother's phone.
yeah. So in that instance, it would be whatever your brother had or whatever it thinks about your brother, and then. But it is odd. It's because it is learning, right? It's a learning machine, right?
It's just weird because all the messages that it gives, they don't look like they make sense. They're just random letters.
Okay, we're at 2 hours now, so I'm going to have to head off. And as I've said for the last 15 minutes,
But they're all.
thank you.
All right, James.
Thank you very much.
Hope you two can get a good night's sleep there.
Yeah, you too.
And just
Oh, yeah.
remember to keep Voltaire in your minds when he's going through this fever dreams or whatever it is.
Yeah, well, Walter.
Feel better.
Just think about what you've done to him.
What do we do to it?
No, I mean just think about it if that could happen.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Gotta keep
I'm not
up
saying
your-
it. I'm not saying you actually did it.
Some type of voodoo shit or something. I'm kidding.
Well, when you say you're kidding, you're not kidding, are you?
No, I don't have $1. I'm not saying like I have some voodoo doll. Voltaire. Get a little Jim Carrey head on it.
For someone unknown reason, Millie's telling me she needs a fringe. TMI. I'm not interested in.
I need
your.
It's not a
vagine.
flange.
Okay.
She didn't say flange. Fringe. What's a fringe?
No, but you can have a fringe on your vagine.
What is a fringe? I don't even know what a fringe
With me, I did like a kind of ski slope on my genitalia and showed it to my mother yesterday. She said, "James, at this point, you can leave if you want, or I will take you by the hand and say, go." We don't show that the dinner table.
It's
and
a
then
dinner table of all places.
Touch it on the actual meat.
Oh, then you touched all the food
Put it, and then put my actual bell
in the
onto the Brussels
mashed
sprouts.
potatoes.
It's
Oh.
like not normal, is it?
No.
That's socially acceptable in Peru, but not here.
Yeah.
Or when you're in the Andes. That's actually a ceremony the Eskimos do.
It's part of the custom, yeah.
All right,
That's how you
well,
say hello.
I think everybody needs to go to Bickford and ask for mercy and tell. Oh, what's happening now? Mandela's got two cameras in now. This has gone from bad to worse now.
That's a
Oh
great
no, he's
That's
split.
great. Anyway. That's great. We were talking about AI and copying,
genuinely
and look what
unnerving.
happens. There's a copy.
Just as long as you've not got a black leather jacket.
We were
on
just
there.
talking about a copy of Mandela Man. There we go. It's happening. The AI is already copied.
Well, I've done
Yeah,
this before where I had two cameras on me at once, and people.
Oh, that was great. That's how I did the song of you. I think when you did that, you had the double voices going. That's how I sampled the song. That was great.
my feeling about saying I'm not feeling it or all that business, or whether I'm feeling things. People like my really great guides to people, like how to address an issue. Well, I'm not sure if I'm feeling it. When you say you're not feeling it,
Yeah, I'm gonna
What do you mean
re-upload
by
the
that
4K
exactly?
version of that one. So
do you want me to hand it you across the internet? Like, this is what we're talking about. It's like tangibility and phenomenology, they call it, and all that kind of thing. It's like
Yeah.
The
I
thing
tried
with
to
the
send you
internet
that
is-
song, but it was too big. Apparently, too big in size.
Well, that's what they always say, isn't it? I knew you were like, just giving me a joke there anyway, handing it to me, but I don't want to even think about that. I mean,
You just have me on drums, going, but I'm
you mean a file of the?
The song I did of you. I was
You
going
could
to
do it
send
on
it.
something like WeTransfer or whatever.
Okay, yeah. As soon as I figure it out,
Then
yeah,
if you do that, then I can actually
put it
use
on
it
your
on a
coffee.
video because,
Yeah, it'd be great. Yeah,
or even use it on here as an intro as well. So
that'd be amazing. Yeah,
this is the kind of thing we need to do, a bit of sort of
yeah. I agree
cross pollination of ideas, etc. So
with that. For sure. Yeah.
that's not a gay thing, okay?
No.
It's not, before Mandela Man jumps on it and says,
right.
what percentage of people in any shopping center at any time could be gay or bi?
About 10 to 15%.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I
I think
think
it's more personally.
I think we might find
25 to
more
45.
like 25 or 30.
No, not necessarily.
It's almost half then.
It depends. Say if the entire supermarket is mainly butch men who drive trucks, I imagine it's probably about 98%.
98.
Did you not see the thing that I posted yesterday in the chat? Like the video, I think nobody really looked at it or paid attention because it was just me with a dog, and then no, I do know the dog obviously, and I can't open. There's a truck that says Mr. C on it.
No, I didn't see that one. Wow.
No, I didn't see it.
There's a guy around here who decides that he's going to call himself Mr. C.
Okay.
But I think this is not uncommon because it's an American truckers thing, isn't it? And we always had that in this area as well. We're basically like the deep south of England.
It's a Richie.
Really?
A bit, yeah, a bit. And it's still like if you go to Ripley, where I grew up, this is like this out of town area where they're selling cars and camper vans. It's been tidied up or not, but it genuinely looks like Alabama. Here we come. We've got the car for you.
Just everybody sounds a lot more better, I guess. I don't even know.
Only $75. It'll last you at least 2 days.
Everyone sounds more sophisticated, but
yeah, here, like people are like this.
Long pauses of yeah.
What? You what, mate? Yeah. How much is it going to cost, please? You don't have to say please. We don't say please in this area.
We say please all the time, or thank you in Canada, everywhere.
No, I do a lot. I'm very polite.
Yeah, me too.
Usually.
People seem like they're turning into a bunch of droolers.
Droolers.
Yeah.
Really?
I flew over Chicago, you know.
Oh, wow.
Mandela Man. I went over Chicago. And I'd just seen that film, Stare of Echoes, which was filmed in Chicago. I was thinking about that.
That's a good one, yeah. With Kevin Bacon.
That's a great film. That scared the shit out of me.
Yeah.
And
I like Kevin Bacon.
Kind of, but
it was good.
It definitely had some Twin Peaksy influence stuff in there.
It was good.
But
it was all right.
yeah, it was just all like crisscross streets. It was all very like that.
Mm-hmm.
But it looked great from the air. I could see like a a gas station, as you call it. And it had a lot of, I know that Chicago, even just watching that film, Stare of Echoes, you can see a lot of old architecture and buildings, old housing.
Yeah.
When did you come here last?
No, I didn't. That was in like year 2000. I went to just Chicago O'Hare.
In the year 2000.
And people were still going on about the election because it was taking them ages to like come to a result.
Yeah.
Not as recent, but I was like, what do you reckon to George W. Bush? This big black woman. She was like, this big black woman at one point, she actually addressed me as punk. And I was like, when I was in Atlanta, I got called white boy. White boy.
That's not as bad as punk, because that's more of a derogative. Like, hey, you punk.
I think it was because I was wearing this black leather jacket because I just thought, hey, I'll just look
like a punk rock.
I'll just sort of like fit in a bit. But
it's like from Repo Man, the movie from Repo Man.
Yeah, it was because I was young and still fairly skinny, and it just. I think my behaviour was slightly punkish at times because of lack of sleep, and like when I got to the hotel in Atlanta, I was just like, "Oh, is my room still ready?" And they went, "No, I'll just no, someone else." I was like, "Oh,
get him out of there!"
Oh, bloody hell! I've been travelling here for about at least 3 hours." But yeah, it was longer than that, obviously.
You literally crossed the ocean.
It was a long flight, and I got put in business class on the way there. So I was like,
"Oh wow,
this is amazing. But it was
Nice.
kind of, yeah, it was like mind blowing. Very.
Because it's a lot quieter. It's a lot more, just nicer, right?
I just sat next to this guy called Howard, and he was from Knoxville, but he was English, and so
nice. Well, at
he
least that
gave me
worked
his
out.
number and stuff in case I needed any help, basically, because he could see that I'd missed my initial plane because of floods in this country. So that's why they gave me the business class.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Probably out because I don't know why. It was a lot of people in these places. Often they're also like, oh, well, I'll just upgrade you into.
That's the sound. Oh.
Oh, you're a nice punk, aren't you?
You're nice. That's what we're
No, but the thing is, with me, it's not like I was wearing anything.
Is that how
like,
she said
to try
it?
and look cool. I was dressed like I'd just come out of some kind of
It's like a
like
rock video. Or
halfway
something.
house. I had like 2 different jackets on which was waterproof underneath the leather. Then I would put the waterproof one on top of the leather jacket, so it made me look a bit like
Well, that's
Yeah.
nice.
not cool, is what I'll say.
Well, you know.
It's the Martin Luther King site in Atlanta and everything, with this priest who I met, and he had this big shiny jacket on and everything. And I said, "Do you actually believe in God and all that stuff?" Because I was
You
young.
went up to him and said that.
And he said,
You
"No, not
actually-
really, not really."
No way.
Mm.
No way. He was a priest, and he said, "No way." You liar.
I'm not lying.
If you actually believe in what you do,
Nobody
you
told me what he
dedicated
did
your
believe
life.
in. I think the idea was too big for him to even start talking about at that point, and it was just that I was probably blowing his mind. Well,
Sorry.
maybe hoping
Here's
that I
a
would
man
blow
who's
something
dedicated
else.
his life to the faith, and within minutes.
No,
you've
he
already
was quite
changed-
young. It wasn't minutes, but it's not like that's not life though, Johnny. That's not reality. And this, we were going down the street basically, and there's this black man lying on a bench or something. He got up through the neighborhood and said, "Could either of you two, spare some change?" And we were like walking off, saying, "No."
You can smell your mandate.
He
That's
just, just as a, like, come on, you've got to give me some money because otherwise you're racist.
why. Oh my god!
And I was like, well, I've not got any money anyway. What am I going to do?
you got to give him money, James. You
This
gotta
priest
do
didn't give him any money though.
it. He's probably giving him so much over the. He probably just buys booze with
What,
him.
sexual favors? No.
No, I did not say that.
No, he doesn't even go there. He's just not even, he's a tourist. But yeah,
Hmm.
he did believe in some things. He did talk to me about it. I
believed in
think I was
something,
just
okay.
confronting him with too much.
Oh, you changed his whole life. It sounds like.
Isn't it weird?
No.
Isn't it weird how temptation finds the men in the church like that, like the good men?
Yeah, you have a man
Well,
approach you and question your faith, and
that's
you just
strange.
turn on it in seconds.
It's like they're targeted by demons or something.
We're talking about the homeless. I mean, the homeless guy was like,
Hmm.
I think it's because a lot of them do have, they might be homosexual or etc. But so I don't think they're.
What? Why would a profession have a higher percentage of home? You know what I mean?
Because
Like,
they gravitate towards it.
what's going on with that? Yeah.
I think because there's this idea that in some way that there's a perversion of sexuality, and so it's like, oh, okay, I've got to deal with this in some way. But I do actually wonder if that's putting the cart before the horse. It might be the other way round. I do think that perhaps some pressure from being brought up in a religious background can kind of make people slightly distort perhaps their views of sexuality and things. Like just the idea that if sex is wrong and stuff, we've come up with this idea of like, oh, the Virgin Mary, I mean, of course, this is more a Catholic thing. And, there was no sexual content there.
Before Mary,
Contact.
though, her Mary's mother, she was barren and had Mary, so it kind of predates Jesus a little bit.
Yeah, I know, but that's,
The
I
whole
mean, that's
Mary-
like you're talking about something that somebody wrote down and then other people wrote various versions of it. The idea is that the idea of something coming from nothing, basically,
Mm.
within
Yeah, it's kind of a
in
universal.
a spiritual sense, which obviously is, if you go into scientific theories and all this kind of thing, it is actually proven that it can. So,
Yeah.
I think there's like truths in between the truths and things.
Yeah, it's
But
whatever.
I
you
think a
believe.
lot of religious things are great for many people if they're into that. But I do think nowadays some of it is perhaps outdated for modern sensibility.
When you
Yeah, that's why there's a difference between personal faith and organized faith, right? Because organized faith would be if you go to a
Correct,
Catholic church every Sunday. You know what I mean? Personal faith is just your personal belief. You know?
You can still go to a church. It's all about just.
Yeah.
I don't think people should be hectored to by a book that was written 2,000 years ago. I'm not saying that the Bible is in any way bad.
Yeah, and the Bible in no way says you have to even go to church. That's a part of organized
But I
religion.
think
That's where I
there's
have a problem with. You know?
There's definitely a conflict between the Old Testament and the New Testament, of course.
Yeah,
so.
and like you said, the different versions, the
Big
different
time.
the different churches. They're different.
Well, I mean, there's lots of other ones as well.
interpretations.
Big time.
It gets to the point of being like, who built the pyramids? It's because there's all these
Yeah.
other books.
You kind of got to
text.
feel it out. You know, you go by feel. You know, go by
I was
your
not gonna
gut
say-
feeling.
I was going to finish though. No, it's not just about feeling. It's about seeing where it all came from and everything. Like, for instance,
Oh, true.
there are all these other texts which I can't remember. You know, sacred texts which were supposed to be in the Bible that people.
Yes.
I got,
And you
Book
know,
of Enoch.
I mean, essentially, for instance,
I got those.
Muslim beliefs are arguably, you could say anyway, that it's all essentially just another version of the Bible. So
All three Jewish,
Yeah, written
Christians,
after
and yeah, exactly, because they're all
They got-
part of the same three.
whereas the
same
Bible
beliefs.
was written a long, long time after a lot of the old sacred Indian texts, which of course inspired the Bible as well. So
They got 7 chapters, or 7 different books on just Genesis alone. So
Yeah,
that's
and Book
that-
of Enoch, and just a
that
few
story
others.
has like 7 different tellings with different.
well, anyway, let's not end the show on this. Let's just
Well, it's Christmas. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, but no, I don't think we need to. But it's not really Christmassy to go on into some kind of theological thing. It's
Well,
I want to say hallelujah to everyone, but I don't want to say it. in
Well,
that
that's
way.
good. All right,
So-
well, that's I respect that.
hallelujah.
Yeah.
Amen.
And any thoughts of what you want to watch over the next few days, and then we can come back and do a video about it.
Yeah.
Other Side of the Wind, I will watch.
Watch that.
Okay.
Have a look at Wise Blood, by the way.
Watch the Mandela Catalog series. that I'm talking
Okay.
about. When you go to the guy's channel, you got to go back to episode 1 and go through it. It's something else. You guys really enjoy it.
Well, even the name of it is bizarre, like calling it
Yeah.
catalog.
Yes.
That's a very old-fashioned kind of.
Right.
You never hear it really now, do you?
Yeah.
Instead of calling it the Mandela Files,
Right.
Johnny?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I was just thinking that too. Yeah, no, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Johnny?
It's
Yeah.
very-
Oh, you can't hear me?
No, I'm asking you to. We're on a show now. I just asked something, didn't I?
Oh no, I was agreeing with you. I didn't know you asked the question.
Okay.
I was going to say
No,
something.
I was saying about closing the show. I'm saying, is there anything you're going to be watching in the last few days?
Oh, sorry.
Yes, you
I was just trying to think of your suggestions because honestly, I don't have any. I was trying to just pick up a couple of yours.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
You got something. Watch My Dinner with Andre. If you guys haven't watched that, I recommended that the other day.
Yeah, that one's
We
definitely.
have to keep it quite minimal, otherwise no one will watch anything if we just
Very
give loads of suggestions, or we'll all watch different things. So, and especially with Voltaire now having terrible nightmares. I mean, there is this new thing coming on at New Year, Stockholm Cowboy or something. I think so. That'll be of interest at least to me and Voltaire. So, but I think we'll have to do a thing basically where if you want to come on and talk about a specific thing, then that's your time to come on the show.
Yeah. that makes
Otherwise,
sense.
if we've just got people on who are like kind of don't know what we're talking about or haven't watched it, then it's just it becomes everybody at each other's like different, loose ends and stuff. And
Yeah, because one's
the
getting
show's
caught
not
up
about it.
and-
I don't want to be the show talking about like explaining to people about something that they've not watched. It's
But then sometimes the good thing is the person who's on who doesn't know also the audience who haven't are interested in hearing.
not
it. But
really.
I hear. I hear.
That's
what you're
not
saying.
true with this channel because the people who watch the channel, they want to tune in for people who know what they're talking about, not
No, I hear that. Yeah, yeah, for sure.
especially at this point. And the subscribers is so minimal at the moment, but the watches can be good if I actually just make the videos better and not just kind of.
But you're always trying to steer us away from our topics instead of going into them more.
When you say our, you mean yours, don't you?
Sometimes.
I'm not there. I've actually been really open to you recently. So
I mean, Voltaire brings something to your attention. You usually showcase his finds and stuff.
no, but I don't not showcase yours. So that's.
All right.
I mean, recently, for instance, the last video with you got a fair amount of views, considering that basically I was not able to post for a week, and so it was posted after the effect.
Good
I mean,
times.
So let's just be positive about it. Come on.
Yes.
Just make sure you've got something you want to talk about when you come on. I'm just saying, for a while at least, I'd rather have a little bit of like kind of
I had
concentration on topics. And
I had that AI masturbator thing written down for you, but I lost it. My bad.
well, that's something we'll bring up on another show. But
I will find it for you.
I mean, that's something that Voltaire would enjoy watching.
You're gonna love
Yeah,
it.
I think so too.
You're gonna
That's
love
why I was having nightmares.
But then I'll probably show it and then get a copyright strike.
the most dystopian thing I've ever seen.
It's not. I don't think that's the most dystopian thing ever.
It was like a luxury item commercial. Like it was just weird.
Oh, really? Well,
The actual.
there were
advertising?
these things where these
Yeah.
guys were doing
Yeah.
like
Oh, wow.
there were these gay guys doing like kind of filleting on AI and stuff like that, or hand jobs.
Wow.
And someone had just filmed them doing it. They're like watching them on that. And Voltaire brought that up, saying, "Hey guys, look at this." And then I was just like, "Okay, let's have a look." Brought it up, and
Guys,
I'm
look
like,
at this.
then about 5 minutes later, it usually registers with me like, someone out there watching this video is going to be like complaining. Or there might be can you imagine on Cameron's show if he did that?
He wouldn't. He wouldn't.
I know.
No,
It's just like-
he sticks to the script pretty much.
Well, I don't think he's just sticking to the script. It's how to grow a channel. He's got like 3,700 subscribers now.
We all have opinions we all have differing opinions.
But this channel is not that, let's face it. So, I mean, part of the reason some people watch it is because of, probably a lot, is because of that anarchic quality.
We thought
and like literally anything could be on the show at any point, So the unpredictability of is partly obviously something that you two both bring and other people are on. I mean, with Peter, Mandela Man says, for instance, his sound is going in and out bad or.
Boy, his sound is awful.
I mean, Peter is a bit hard to keep up with for me sometimes, and but I do enjoy him being on because he's quite in tune with me in some ways. But it's. Some people find him comical as well, of course, and he is actually. I mean, some of the stories are.
Definitely.
Yeah, he reminds me of somebody.
Just putting himself in these positions, going into places, and then he says he punched a dog. It's like, I mean, it literally is like a wait, what moment, as you say, Johnny. It's like
Yeah.
it's like anybody else in that position. If they did it, if it's not Peter, immediately you think like this is wrong, like can't do that, or not good. But with Peter, you kind of go, well, I kind of understand it.
Yeah, he's got to weigh it
In
down,
that situation. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't want him to get attacked by a dog.
No. Oh, the dog story. Oh my god.
But I don't think people should punch dogs either, or certainly not do anything to cats. I saw this cat the other day. It was just so like friendly. It was unbelievable.
They're
Like,
great. They
following
keep
it.
the rodent. They keep the rodent population down. So you should be just think of that.
I know. And I had one in my. I had at least more than probably about 2 rats come into my kitchen, and it's on the 2nd floor.
That's why having a cat is a
Can't
really
believe
good
that.
thing.
But that's because this is an older building. It's not like built in the last 10 years or something. It's pretty older than that, but not. And it was during the pandemic. I think they just lost their source of food. Wherever it was, at shops and pubs and wherever. I think they gravitate, like they like quiet, but then they'll come out at night around the place and scavenge.
Yeah, they're nocturnal. Yeah.
I think they can get in bins. They can squeeze through the smallest of spaces. It's absolutely unbelievable.
Yeah.
And after a while, I was like, this is just freaking me out now. I was in the kitchen doing the show, and I could hear like bangs in my kitchen. They'd be they'd be flinging the flipping apples off the surface and then eating around the whole apple on my floor.
That's
And I get
wild. Yeah.
they ate a whole fruit loaf one day, not like a big loaf.
Yeah.
And I was just like, this is fucking insanity.
Didn't you have one challenge you? It was like all muscular and stuff.
No, but he just stood looking at me over there.
That's what I mean. They're
And at that point when I saw it, I was like, this is real. At first
once
I
they
thought,
make
oh,
eye contact. Yeah, once they make eye contact.
this phantom, it wasn't massive, but it was probably quite clean. You probably get nothing from them
But still,
around this area. But
it's entered your
just-
area. You
it
know, your
screwed
safe
me. I was
space.
like, and when I rang the housing people, and I was like, well, what we do is basically we let the tenants try and sort it out. So I was like, fuck this.
Yeah, they want you to get exterminated. They want you. To
I've
get...
got to go and ring this person up here. Like you ring most of the extematives. Oh, sorry, it's the pandemic. We're not doing anything now.
Mm.
Oh, hi. Yeah, I can come out and have a look for you. Looks in the sewer down there.
Yeah.
Shit down there and stuff. He says, sorry, there's nothing going to do once they get into the sewer thing. Basically, this. He says, I'll
They
be
can, come,
honest.
they
with
can
you.
come out of your toilet. You got to be careful sometimes. Yeah.
I know that it was not a big one like that, but that
Mhm.
I was like one night I was in bed and I was like, right, shut that bedroom door tight.
Mhm.
I mean,
Yeah.
what if I wake up and there's a bloody a rat in the room, or even worse, it won't. I mean, it's just absolutely freaks you out
Yeah.
when you realise that the nature around you is like attacking you.
That's why you need the counterbalance, i.e., the cats, right? Because you can just go.
Oh,
to
you
sleep
get it
and-
around here. I'm
you
not
know?
even kidding though.
Yeah.
Around here, we're like semi-rural. I was going up by a fence, and then something came and banged on the fence next to me.
Whew.
I don't know what it was. It could have been. It could have been a dog that's there, but I've not seen any dog there anymore. It could have been
Coyote or something, maybe, or
a fox. or
a fox.
something.
Okay. Yeah, maybe a fox. Yeah, yeah.
When we locked ourselves in for all those 2 years, the animals kind of took over more space outside. I
I
saw,
know you see foxes walking around here,
foxes for the
sometimes.
first ever.
mainly
Fingers.
squirrels, but you see,
Yeah.
I came out. I went to the cinema to see that mental film with Russell Crowe, which I quite enjoyed.
Beautiful
someone was
Mind?
just reading like a tablet in there.
Oh.
What, during the pandemic,
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Unhinged.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, it was really, really enjoyable. Anyway, so the usher came out and told them to stop looking at a tablet in there. It's like,
Oh, good.
you know,
yeah.
because I told the usher. And I was on like a mission to achieve, and it's like, achieve what? I don't know. Basically, I went down the road afterwards, walking a few miles back home, and I got flipping all these bloody badgers coming past me,
Oh my god.
just running past me at one
Oh
point.
shit. Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck is going on?
What's going down? Yeah.
And they go in like, often like packs. And I was like unhinged a bit, but at that point, I was thinking
They're fucking big, aren't they?
some of them can be quite big, yeah.
Hmm.
But they didn't seem to be at all phased by me. I don't know if I just disturbed them, and then they just sort of like
That's the crazy thing. How they
ran
have
past
adapted.
me.
They don't even phase. Yeah, that's crazy.
They were right next to where my legs were. They just got like this over across onto this grass,
Well,
and yeah, if you see where the kind of area it is, it's just sort of wide open areas of like grass and stuff,
that's definitely breeding grounds. Yeah.
and just scrapland. Where
Yeah.
one morning I got up early, and this man had lost his dog down a hole.
Shoot! Holy cow!
It was really early, like in the summer, and I was just like, "What is going off?"
What? It was like, did the hole just open up out of nowhere, like a sinkhole, or?
No, there's just holes everywhere,
Oh,
like
okay.
for rabbits, and I think he may have
Oh,
been trying to
yeah.
catch rabbits.
Shoot!
Honestly,
Yeah.
like I said, it's semi-rural. It's not.
Hmm.
It's not like the city anymore.
It's got to be quiet, but right, like it's at least you got that.
It is. It's too quiet at night sometimes. It's like
Oh, I would love. I would love to have that. Oh my goodness! I always hear a car.
Where you are then?
I'm close to a highway, so I'm always hearing the cars or trucks in the distance.
What about your neighbours?
I don't hear I still don't have a neighbor next door, but the ones around me are really quiet.
What about
Really.
above? Or,
No, I'm in a place by myself.
what, a whole house?
Yeah.
Blimey.
Yeah.
I would never opt for that. I would just like, because it's too much for me to handle, you see. That's the trouble. My whole house would be just full of like,
Yeah, I was-
I could probably get it clean, but I'd have to have someone to help me, to be honest.
Yeah, it's maids are not
Either.
that expensive. It's only $40 for an hour or two or something. $40 an hour, I think.
Yeah, I know, but it's not like here. It's not like that here as much as like you have to really look for somebody here. You see.
Yeah, and if you trust them, that'd be great because then once you find somebody, that's excellent. You can just leave the door, give them a key or something, and then
Yeah, but I don't want to. I know I do have that now, but I think is I don't. She only comes every 2 weeks just to help me with a few minimal things. But like,
yeah, that's not too bad. That's pretty good.
I'm actually quite friendly with her now. But the thing is,
Yeah, there you go. That trust
yeah,
right
it's
in the
just-
beginning.
I wouldn't want a
Probably
bunch of
awkward,
anonymous
right?
company coming in and like sorting through my bedroom because they'd be
Yeah.
just laughing at the amount of shit in there. And stuff, you know?
Yeah, so you always make sure you tell them a heads up. Oh, leave this or
I
that.
don't mean
or
there's
this.
literal piles of shit. In
Yeah, yeah. No, but if you have paper, say you write down ideas or something, right? Sometimes you can let them know ahead of time. Piles of shit.
I'm only kidding. They don't laugh at anything. They just come in and do it as a
2
job.
weeks
but-
again, they got like the mask on. Oh, James, not in the corner again. Oh my god.
Oh, I know. I got a recommendation for you guys.
Okay, no.
Did you watch Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio yet?
I saw
No,
a bit
I've
of
seen
it.
that.
It's
Watch
pretty
it.
intense. Yeah, I
It's
saw
pretty
about
good.
first-
Yeah, it's pretty
Yeah.
dope, actually.
Stop motion. It's pretty good, but today's
Like it.
stop motion.
Yeah, I like it. It was really good.
I might have to give it a look at least. Is it? How long is it though? Like 5 hours?
It put Disney to shame.
I mean, for me, I just think why does the studios not go Guillermo? Right, we'll do a
Yeah.
film. Okay, Pinocchio, 1 hour
Yeah.
30 minutes.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, I've got to do it 2 hour 42 minutes.
yeah.
It's not that long.
With a 3.5-hour director's cut.
It's like two hours and maybe 10 minutes.
No, but I look. This film's coming out now. Like
Yeah,
it's ordinarily a film on general release. It's something like
Mhm.
2 hours 40 minutes. Like for
It's
instance, the Batman
ridiculous.
film is a good example. Even
Yeah.
though I know you don't like me criticizing the Batman, but
I like longer films.
but this film you're talking about for sure, I agree with everything you've ever.
I'm
mentioned
not
about this
saying I
film.
don't like the Mandela. That's not what it's about.
They need an intermission. They need to be not afraid to do
It's
it.
funny you brought that up. I think Mike Kermode brought that up to how
Mike,
certain- or Mark Kermode. How there's certain theaters
got his brother
around the world will have an intermission after the first. I think in India, in the first hour,
This
they
is
give you an
never going to
intermission.
happen in
It's too much of a
America
cultural
and-
thing, right? Yeah.
because it's too much money for them now. Everything is commerce.
Yeah.
That's
I
it.
think-
Oh no, but you can actually make more money, James. You know why? Because if you have an intermission, you can sell more popcorn, drinks, yada
Yeah.
yada yada. You know,
Possibly, but
it's better for the theater actually, not for the movies themselves, but for the theaters. Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, but you're talking about people coming in and bringing them around and stuff. Everyone have to go out. You see,
Mhm.
when they used to have intermissions
Oh yeah.
at cinemas when I was young, they would bring, which they were sort of phasing out at that point anyway. They would do it in the matinees and stuff
That's
during
right. Yeah,
Lethal
yeah.
Weapon 2 or something in
Yeah.
the evening. You know,
Yeah.
I think
And,
Magnolia is the last one to have an intermission. You know, I
What?
don't- Magnolia.
oh well, yeah.
It has an
Oh.
intermission, but
What
That's
about
true
far,
for,
far and away?
I think
For the
that
for the comments, that's true because if you're watching a long movie like today, you need a little break. You don't want to miss anything because you paid so much for the ticket. You want to see the film at least.
the
You need that break. You need that.
Yes,
bathroom
I
break.
stayed the entire time. Didn't go to the toilet for
Wow.
Batman
Batman?
by not
Wow.
drinking. I usually drink quite a lot of water or whatever.
Yeah, yeah. I like to
And,
always be hydrated.
I stopped doing that now to see that, and it's just it was a very good film on the cinema, but I do think it was too unremitting. It was so prologue. It was just.
Yes, yes.
I've watched it again, and it's.
I wish they
Mhm.
would have left that Joker scene in.
They should have re-edited it. It was just.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like so many things that came out during the pandemic. It was just slightly rushed out,
Yeah.
and it didn't feel. It didn't feel fully that Batman. It felt
No,
like
no.
you've got to give Batman a slight amount of humor. And this,
You know
he
what?
was
That's
completely
you're right.
humorless.
You're absolutely right, James. Somebody was talking about it the other day on YouTube. There's Batman, right? But with Batman, there's also Bruce Wayne. You have to also do the Bruce Wayne correct.
You know what
what I mean?
you know what I heard is that they didn't like his Bruce Wayne scenes. That they actually did film more scenes
Oh,
of him as Bruce Wayne, but the studio.
See, that's-
I have
that's a-
no problem
that's
with
a
them,
problem.
actually. I just think
Okay.
that it was too. It's the director that's the one responsible for this, and
mhm.
I don't think the director was quite,
but not everybody gets final cut like
in
Bruce
charges.
Lynch.
No, he probably didn't. He
Oh,
probably-
that's a good point too. What the studio had to find. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Yeah, only certain artists get that.
Yeah, like why else was that Joker scene not in? Because
Wow. Sure.
they
Yeah.
know that it sells to
Mhm.
hold it back, and then barely have like the Joker is barely evident in the film. You can kind of tell it's him, but he's not sure.
There.
Mhm.
When you watch that scene, it's completely obvious. And to put that in the film is a bit kind of like, okay, well, you know where the next film's going then.
Unless he has an idea for a different actor that he really wants,
They have to leave everything too much of a mystery, which for my
More-
liking sometimes.
more.
It's
than-
too much sequel baiting. They want you to come back for the next and the next.
Yeah, but it's
you gotta-
just not it's not sequel baiting, it's just unimaginative.
Yeah, that too. Yeah.
Like with Christopher Nolan, I mean, his films in themselves, they're very well made.
But
But
they're
I
getting
wouldn't-
derivative.
I
almost,
wouldn't
almost.
necessarily he was either the most imaginative director, really.
Dude, bullshit, Johnny. This Oppenheimer's gonna blow your fucking mind.
I hope so because like the last movie he made, what was it though?
Dude,
Tenet?
yeah.
I forget what it was
No, I
called.
disagree about Tenet. It's
You don't like that?
you're just being too down on stuff, Johnny. It's like,
no. I'm a fan of him, but those movies, I don't
That's
know.
good.
what do you mean those movies?
They get too wrapped up in his logic. Like he'll create it's such a
What are you talking about? That's one movie, Tenet.
yeah, but he's talking about the upcoming. I want to see that and then have to.
How can you talk about those movies about a film that's not even come out yet?
Yeah, no,
That's,
that's true. Huh?
that's one
Yeah,
I'm
but-
going to the theater for.
Tenet is a good film. It's very watchable, but it lacks substance for me. That's the only problem. It's very just sort of like too much. Okay, this character's the baddie.
Mhm.
That's it.
Yes.
Like
yeah.
Nolan seems to thrive on that to some degree, but I think that the film just wasn't quite strong enough in terms of
Protagonist had no name. He was literally called the protagonist or something. You know,
I
he
don't
had
think there's
no
any
name.
problem with the protagonist. He was good. I think the problem was Kenneth Branagh's performance in it slightly. They could have maybe done the baddie a bit better. So,
Yes, because you need a bad guy, yes, to drive that. Yeah,
but I did find the film too much just about ideas rather than anything like.
that's what I'm talking about for concept wise. Yeah, for that movie specific. And you're right. I shouldn't judge Oppenheimer until I see it. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Well, you really need to see Oppenheimer and Tenet on the cinema, otherwise they just don't make sense. Like Tenet is all about sensation and feeling it, literally.
No, I've seen all his movies in the theater. I've seen even before that.
But
the names of who's-
I think you need to be completely in
think
the
some in
moment
3D
to
too.
sit to really appreciate it. Something like Tenet.
No, because I dissect the story, and he's got so many illogical moments with the reversals, and it plays within the world.
The film
but,
is about
you know,
illogic, surely.
Yeah.
That is the narrative. It's just
True.
for me, that's not the narrative necessarily that
That drives. Yeah.
I'm familiar with. For me,
Mhm.
sometimes I actually quite like the thing that Lynch did is he would have very almost banal stories or like typical stories, but then take it into the surreal element, which gives
Yeah,
us that
yeah.
kind of that element of fascination. The difference with Nolan is that I don't know, he's like he's quite happily a surrealist at times.
hmm
And he doesn't ask anything of he doesn't ask the audience to try and understand anything. He's just
Okay,
in
do you
that way.
think- yeah.
He's a bit Kubrick. He just sort of
okay,
like this
yeah,
is what
yeah.
the film is. Here it is. You make your own mind upon it. Basically, I think
Mhm.
Lynch actually offers more in a way as a filmmaker sometimes, perhaps, even though he denies that. He's like, no, you make up your own mind.
Yeah.
But with Lynch, there is a lot there on the table for you to sort of
Definitely to
You know,
work with. Yeah.
yeah.
I mean it like it is.
Also, yeah, I agree with that. Yeah.
Well, no, I think come on, that they've released that Lynch Oz film, which I would like to see actually now. That is another thing we need to catch up on. And
I don't know where to watch it at.
I think it'll be up somewhere, but he will have had to have said, okay, yeah, that's fine, with the film, basically. He's not, but then he didn't want to appear in it because he's all about keeping the mystery alive because it's not about him. It's not about his films. It is about The Wizard of Oz and, all of the history of that. I mean,
Yeah.
who even directed The Wizard of Oz? I can't remember, but
There's 5 different directors. They
Wow.
keep hiring and firing.
oh, have you seen that on cinema recreation of the Jitterbug scene, by the way?
Yes, that was hilarious.
That was so stupid.
No.
I was watching it and I was like, "This."
Right.
Oh well. Anyway, just look it up.
Dude,
on
I
the-
was fucking cracking up. It was really good.
It's insane. You know that guy who plays what's his name? The cinema guy, Greg Turkington. Yeah, I could have gone and see him in London recently. I got invited to go and see him
Oh, yeah?
by the Mike Hickey who was playing with him, who's been in films by Damon Packard and so on. And I just sort of said, sorry, I can't go. It's too far. And he was like, why not? But like they knew me vaguely enough, mainly through Damon Packard, who's like this real character. He like basically got money off of his family, like in a sort of inheritance or something, quite a long time ago now, 20 years, and just spent it all on making a film. And then he put it all on DVDs. It's filmed it on a film, and then posted it to like everybody in Hollywood. You know, Spielberg. He's got this obsession with Spielberg, who's featured in the film, like by an actor and stuff. It's hilarious, but it's all about this morbidly obese character wandering around Hollywood trying to sell watches and like what happens in Inland Empire. There's that guy called the Crimp who goes around trying to sell the watches and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
There are sequences in it which remind me of Inland Empire, but I think it was made before Inland Empire, though, so I definitely think Lynch may have had a look at it. But Damon Packard is absolutely hilarious. He actually told me that he got sacked from a job for leaking Twin Peaks secrets because he was working on the Blu-ray of it.
Oh, wow.
He may have exaggerated things. I don't know. You can never tell with him because it's just like he'll go and see films in the middle of the night, you know, in Hollywood and wherever. Probably in the vicinity of Voltaire. And there's like literally no one in the theatre half the time.
I like it like that.
Yeah, he loves it. He'll go and see films that he thinks are not necessarily going to be very good.
Wow.
But I mean, some of them he really likes. I think he went to see the new Way of the Water, but he didn't like it. So
You'll never get my money, James.
Well, I'm not pro it. I'm not anti it. I just think it is a film I think it's interesting, the whole idea of it in some ways, these kind of Avatar stuff. But
No.
I'm not saying it's like.
He's like, no.
It's just like these kind of alien type creatures living in a jungle. I'm just a bit like.
You know what's throwing me off? I was looking at them. I'm like, what is the evolutionary biology? Why are they humanoid? Why don't they have
Why are they
like,
blue?
gills? Why are they blue? Why do they have feet? Why do they have hands? Why do they have 5 fingers?
Story.
What is the evolutionary?
You just have to
aspect of
accept it all, don't you? Like, oh, okay, right. Fine.
Yeah, the
I
humanoid
don't know, if
aspect
it's in
throws me off.
3D. I mean, there are some beautiful visuals in this new one because they're featured in a trailer. But I don't know how much this new one cost. But to me, it all just feels a bit like
Money on
it could have
screen.
gone to be a TV series, but they're like, no, it's too big, so we need to have it on cinema.
Sorry, you got to make $2 billion just to make a profit.
Yeah, he's got to or break even between 800 million. I've heard one report and 2 billion just to break even. It's
Well,
ridiculous.
it'll definitely not make $2 billion. I don't think.
People should be
No, just to break even. Think about that. Just to get their money back.
people should be boycotting it on principle.
People, if you just check general reviews on YouTube,
Out of my
it's
window, I can see a child, a young
giving you the
lass
finger.
on.
Yeah.
No, I'm not kidding here, and I'm being serious. A young girl wearing pajamas on roller skates with a dog, and a boy sat on the ground now. It's like it's summer or something.
It's not good.
So yeah, anyone want a closing comment, or because I'll have to get off in a minute, I think.
No.
Not that I can.
And then again,
If you want to address some of the chat that happened while we were talking, Dan Peak said
No,
he
really,
watched
no,
Batman.
please, no, just leave it. You just said if you want to address it, and then you start talking to it.
I
Say,
was gonna say in Tenet, Johnny.
Yeah,
Like I kind of saw it as like
I've got a sore throat still, so
like an allegorical thing because of like how in the military, I remember them always having like the flag, for regular, like you would see it, like Now, if you look at our military, all the flags are backwards. So to me, like Tenet was, he's using that gimmick of the time going back.
okay, I'm going to have to finish now. So
Tell
thank
that-
you everyone for coming along, and thank you for that interesting nugget there, Mandela Man.
Mhm.
Think of anything you want to talk about before the next video, and i.e. a film. And if you can watch Wise Blood, I would be really interested to hear your opinion.
I'll
Like I
watch-
said, I'm going to watch The Other Side of the Wind. So,
Yeah, I'm gonna watch it right now.
well, you don't have to do it now. I mean,
Well,
right now.
Yeah.
Do it.
I'm doing it.
Well, no, he said he's going to do it. But what I'm saying is I'm worried about him.
Why?
Why am I worried about him?
Yeah.
Well, he's in the middle of the night.
Oh yeah, well, that's my time frame.
Well, all right then. Everyone have a good day today or night where
Like
you two
dinner.
are. And
Like
take
dinner.
care. I'm
Take care.
going now.
Thank you
Bye
again
for now.
for
Bye,
everyone.
bye, 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 bye.
Take
bye.
care. Have a good one. Ciao.
Ciao, Bella. Mandela.
I think we just need to all think and sit about what we said today. And then hopefully for next time you can write a song about that. And then
Well, I could do a little bit of
just an outro maybe. We don't go on for like 5 minutes, please.
the trees. And I'll see you, and you'll see me, and I'll see you in the branches that blow
In the tree.
the sycamore trees, the dark trees that blow, baby,
Yeah.
in the dark trees that blow. Oh, what's that? No. And I'll see you. You'll see me, and I'll see you in the breeze, everybody.
That was actually really good.
Thanks.
Really and relaxing as well.
Thanks, brother.
Sometimes our discussions can get a little bit frenetic at times.
I kind
And
of.
also, I don't think that I'm trying to shut you down or not talk about your topics because I honestly am open to things. It's sometimes just a question of like, how to arrange them within videos and stuff. So,
I got you.
all right, we'll have.
It'd be a lot more convenient if I had a computer, because then I could have
Yes, you'd have more like ability to reference
have
things.
things ready to go and everything.
You could even pre-prepare.
Exactly.
As well, so
Yeah.
when you're just winging it, it kind of goes. It can get for me. I'm just like, what's going off? Like, where am I now? It's like
All right.
one wrong way on a one-way street. Well, it's like your aeronauts or whatever it's called. Yeah,
Well, that'd be cool.
not aeronauts.
That'd be a cool collaboration.
Randonauts.
If yeah, that'd be
We
cool.
should genuinely think of that more. Peaks
cool-
reference sort of like our own documentation or
Well,
whatever you call it, cataloging.
Yeah, and you do so many karaoke songs. It'd be cool if I could learn a song, and then you could sing.
Well, I did.
You could sing while I play.
I have had this I do think that with me, like sometimes I need to just rest my voice because I give myself a sore throat partly, but it could be to do with actually just going out and catching balls, I think. But the thing is, like something like that colloidal silver, I might try and
It's good
just
stuff.
a gargle of that, but not the concentrate. Obviously, I don't want to go near that. Really,
Well,
there are some people who take teaspoons of it and stuff, but
no, just take it. Only
don't do that. Yeah.
only when you need it.
Yeah, because I've always had like a tendency to get a sore throat, but I think it's like you get a cold sometimes and then it sort of affects you in a specific way. With me, it's more like I tend to get this kind of soreness and it can make me,
If it's sore, that's what I'm
it
saying.
affects my mood. Like, because,
It can
well,
get
you rid-
probably
probably know how I am. Like you said, I can be a bit blunt or something. It just exacerbates that.
yeah, it could really get rid of the soreness.
Unintentionally.
Kind of amazing.
It'd be pretty hard to find anything like that today, I think, but I will have a look online and try and find a decent price or something.
Have a tea with some lemon and honey or something.
Oh yeah, definitely. I get fed up of having coffee all the time sometimes. Only when I get like, say I'm getting quite tired in the afternoon, I'll just a cup of coffee is okay, but
Yeah.
when I get up in the morning, I'm like, I have 2 cups and I'm like wired. but it's probably because I have it so strong, you know.
I used to be able to do that. Now I can only have one. And then if I stay
I know this is. I noticed it's the same with drinking. Like one time, I was just like, "Hey," you know, like then you go the years past, and you just realize it. The way it affects you is different. It's like
big time.
you kind of like, whoa,
Yeah. Trust me, yeah.
This is why you see older people who are in pubs and they're just like they'll be nursing a pint for a long time and stuff. They just take their time with everything because they know they don't want to end up just like falling over somewhere because your balance is affected as you get older. Everything. We're talking as if we're like really old, but it's not. Once you get into your 40s, even I would say, even late 30s, it becomes
37. I started to notice a change.
It may be because we're like our personalities or something, partly. And
we live sedentary lives is the problem.
No, I don't. I haven't been recently. Sometimes I actually do feel happy.
You get out more than me.
I tried to change that, and it's been really hard actually for me.
Yeah.
Because I'm so bad at planning anything. I just.
I mean, at least I see you on the bus once in a while.
I get out and about, but
I can't even do that.
Like anything for me, I just I suffer from inability to plan things, overstimulation, and all these kind of things. It's like, and it's just depressing, and it makes you feel sad to kind of address these things. But on the other hand, I just don't want to pretend, you know.
Sometimes I think it's sad, and then sometimes I just want to dive more into it. You know, I don't know.
Yeah, that's how I feel, really.
Otherwise,
why would I address it on here? It's like I don't like leaving myself open to anyone who watches so they feel like they can make fun of me or something like this. But it's at the end of the day, that's on them because I've not got anything to lose. So, you know, it's just
the old cartoons where the angel and the devil is on somebody's shoulder. That's much how my mind is. It's diametrically opposed to itself.
Well, there's a good song about that as you said, Henry Rollins doesn't do that many albums. He was very prolific when he changed the band lineup.
I like the music when he made
there's one of the lyrics about that, angel on the shoulder, one on the other, and he says something about, do you not think Jesus Christ had that wandering eye? Or something like that about Mother Teresa as well. It's like, let that devil out is the song. Because after 2000, he went really full on into the rock and roll thing because he thought that before then, like, they spent nearly a year rehearsing for Come In and Burn, which I saw them live in London for that, and it was intense. But I did get around to really liking Mother Superior, who became his band, because they were just like, he'd say, "Do you want to do a song?" They're like, "Yeah." You know,
right.
And he just made songs like "Get Some Go Again" and stuff like that. But then he said, kind of, "Yeah, I run out of lyrical ideas," which is very honest and I think valid. Because I think once you become like him, he essentially became more like of a speaking guy, didn't he? And also, and he made way more money off of that than band stuff.
Yeah.
For obvious reasons, you know, like.
Yeah.
I think he's a very interesting character. But
the lyrics reminded me of have you ever seen
did you know? And he said, I didn't know at one point, some of the people who were fans of me, I'm like, what? Like Barry Manilow asked me for an autograph. Can you believe it?
No, I can. You got.
It's because the performance is so
raw.
You just
9 Inch Nails and stuff like that. So yeah,
it's kind of like there is an element of performance, for instance, with the Rollins band and stuff like that. But at the same time, there's just this kind of honesty about it and rawness. It's not like he's trying to be anything than he is. As he says, like, I can't even sing, really. But he's actually pretty good in his own way. So those later albums he did, Get Some Go Again, and then Nice was the last one.
Yeah,
that was really, and they were really popular in Australia, for instance.
Yeah, I like them. It's
just you go to Australia and people just like stuff like
few
DC
and
and
far
stuff.
between. You know, that's the thing. It just
He really, when I thought he was good at acting, though, was when I saw him in that Sons of Anarchy.
His lyrics.
You know, when I saw him, I said to him, "Oh yeah, you know, I wish you'd been in Natural Born Killers and stuff like that." And I said you were really good in Lost Highway. And he's like, "Oh, thanks," you know, like. But then he knew that he could tell that I'd been drinking.
Was he supposed to be in Natural Born Killers or something?
Yeah, first initially, Oliver Stone wanted him to be the main character. Yeah, I think the studio would have said no or something, probably.
Oh, he would have played Woody's role.
Yeah, because he wasn't well known as enough.
Okay, I could see that.
He was well known for about one song. That was it, Liar, and then that was it. I mean, people know who he is, but
yeah, not big enough.
He wasn't a good enough actor at that point, anyway. By the time Sons of Anarchy, he'd improved. So
that's one of my favorite movies.
It is good.
Natural Born Killers. It is just so artistically perfect in a lot of ways. Have you ever seen Last Temptation of Christ? His lyrics remind me of that a little bit.
Yeah, that film is. I mean,
I don't know.
He may have been inspired by that, but I think that Last Temptation of Christ is a great film.
Mm-hmm.
If you really like have the patience and stick it out, because some people might find it like, oh, what am I watching, you know? But the music by Peter Gabriel and the ending of it, I was like blown away when I saw it properly.
Right, yeah.
It's just like
it's really like
this is taking me to something else that I never thought like
it might even be
religion is about, you know.
It might even be Marty's best movie. I mean, everybody.
I would watch that again actually because of the fact that Bowie is in it. Because the thing is, when you're young, a film like Last Temptation to Christ, you're like, oh, I don't really understand this sort of thing. Well, I didn't anyway.
Yeah, I read the book. It was really hard to read. It had a lot of old language from back.
I think it's very based on sort of, you know, sort of a particular kind of approach to the whole thing, and then of course Scorsese took it in a certain direction as well, and just added this real quality to it.
Yeah, the author of the book, he actually is in one of the Young Indiana Jones episodes. He's studying like
he must have come from a theology background or some way.
In Indiana Jones, he's studying at like a Buddhist monastery.
What I mean in reality,
he's studying all the religions of the world.
Oh, well, I'm sure the casting was part of that as well.
You know what I mean? Like that.
You're not going to write a book like Last Temptation of Christ if you don't.
Indiana Jones is based on historical stuff, so
there's a lot of religious stuff in Indiana Jones, which I always really loved it for. You know, it's in some way or another. So, as you've mentioned actually on the last video, didn't you? So anyway. Oh yeah, it's gone over 3 hours now, so I think I'll head off. All right.
All right. Yeah.
And I want Johnny to think we're carrying on without him either. So.
On the Indiana Jones thing, before we end, I studied the Holy Grail because you know I'm almost obsessed with trying to find figure out where it is, and
all right,
there's a stone in a lot of the myths that they say is either in the cup or it is the cup. That stone, some say that's the Philosopher's Stone. That would be a good thing for Indiana Jones if they weren't doing the Nazi Bell type of thing. You know, maybe with the AAA video game, we'll get something like that, or that's where I would go with it. You know, but yeah, all right,
interesting. Okay,
peace out, everybody.
Yeah, see you all soon, and see you in the trees, of course, and hopefully we'll meet again soon, Mandela Man.
All right, brother. Yeah,
I hope you enjoy Wise Blood if you do manage to see it. So.
Oh, I'm gonna watch it right now.
Cheerio for now, then, and see you soon. Have a good one. Everyone out there, if you're watching this show still, hope you have a good Boxing Day, day after Christmas. I will see you soon. Cheerio for now. See you in the trees.
I don't think so. I know so. Get it!
Okay. I've got idea, man. Ooh, you take me for a walk under the sycamore tree. The dark trees that blow, baby. In the dark tree that blow, and I'll see you, and you'll see me. And I'll see you in the branches that blow in the breeze. I'll see you in the trees. I'll see you in the trees under the sycamore tree. And I'll see you, and you'll see me, and I'll see you in the branches that blow in the breeze. I'll see you in the tree. I'll see you in the tree under the sycamore